Welcome to the Rebellious Noise Pro Wrestling channel. On this channel, we bring you some great content from inside and outside of the squared circle. We will go through and offer some in-depth analysis of the biggest events of the year, as well as bringing you exclusive interviews with some of the industry's biggest names. There will also be live show reviews, in-depth features, and podcasts. So make sure you give that subscribe button a slam so you don't miss any of the action.
Hello, and welcome to the Rebellious Noise Pro Wrestling channel. My voice maybe went there, so let that be a good way to start this stream, Rob. I'm Scott. I'm talking to Rob there. He started coughing. What a way to start, everybody.
Sorry.
What a way to start. If you've only seen the technical difficulties we've had off air, if you watch this with us live, fantastic. If you're watching on demand, that's great as well. Basically, what we're going to be doing here is, well, as the title says, a watch along of SummerSlam 1992. Now, of course, SummerSlam 1992 happened. You can tell by accents if you're new here. Where we're from. It happened in London, England, and Wembley Stadium to be exact. The old Wembley with those beautiful twin towers. But yeah, sadly no longer with us. But there is a new Wembley, and we always thought that maybe that would get a SummerSlam or something like that. It hasn't. And to kind of date this video, if you're watching this in the future, soon we will have Clash at the Castle. We're going to get into all of that, in due course. But today it is all about SummerSlam 1992. As you can see, I've tried to dress up for the occasion, be a bit summery. We've got some old school wrestling merch here as well. Now, maybe controversial, Rob, because we're British. But I've actually got some Bret Hart pajama bottoms behind me there that I thought would be good to show off because it was, relevant. But should I be rooting for the Bulldog? I guess I should.
I mean, you should technically, but I've gone like red and blue, so I'm trying to be like red, white, and blue, and I've got white.
Oh, okay.
So I thought like I can't find anything, and I was going to put on an England shirt, but I thought I don't really want to wear it, to be honest. So I've got
all right. So a little bit of effort goes a long way, but clearly not.
Look, it's still effort.
All right, yeah, but that's all right, whatever. Anyway, so we're going to be talking SummerSlam here, and we're going to be watching it as well. Of course, we're going to let you guys sync up with us as well. So we'll let you know exactly when we're going to start watching the show. And we'll try not to take any breaks or anything like that where we stop the stream to make it confusing. And if you're joining us late or on demand or anything like that, and maybe you do go out of sync and you do need to pause it, we'll try and, every now and then kind of give you a bit of an update as to where we are on the actual timer. Of course, we're going to watch on the WWE Network. I guess international viewers, those in the US at least, I assume it's just still the US, but Peacock. Now, the time we've got on here officially looks to be about 2 hours, 46 minutes and 29 seconds from the way I pulled it on 00000. Don't know if that was enough zeros, but hey. We're going to get going very, very soon. Quickly, before we do, any standout things you think of when you think about SummerSlam 92?
I thought you meant just SummerSlam for a second then.
Oh, that as well, if you want.
Obviously, look, so before we get into SummerSlam 92, at some point we're doing 2002.
We are.
I'm really hoping I'm really hoping that obviously I can be on that one. That's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
But SummerSlam though, every time someone says it, the only one I ever think about really is 2000, which is the very first TLC, Harley's, Dudley's, Edge and Christian.
Yeah.
That was for me, 2000 was like peak WWF, I guess, at the time. WWE.
So many good pay-per-views.
The whole year of pay-per-views was like solid back to back, give or take a few. And it kind of started from 99, built upwards into 2000, into 2001, and then kind of fizzled and then went really good in SummerSlam 2002. So there was a lot of that time, and that was when we were younger. So we really got engrossed in that kind of wrestling storyline telling and all that. And it was longer storyline telling as well, and great guys.
Yeah.
Great performers. So for SummerSlam, I always think of 2000, but then 92 obviously is, the UK one. So it's one that I've only watched like once or twice.
So weirdly, we were talking off air. Of course, you said you'd watched it as a kid, right? Have you watched it only as a kid?
Only as a kid.
Right. So I've never fully seen it. I've seen clips and watched documentaries and seen parts and highlights, but I've never watched the entirety of the show. So this is going to be interesting. it's a period where wrestling was huge over in the UK as well. Of course, we'll probably get into it throughout the show. Yeah, it did good numbers as far as attendance. I don't think it did good numbers as far as pay-per-view buys because of the time difference. And apparently that's what's kind of stopped them from doing anything like this thus far. But of course, as we mentioned earlier on, at time of recording, we do have one coming up very, very soon as far as a big PLE, as they call them nowadays. Right. So let's get going. What we'll do is as we go along, we'll just kind of react to everything we see, sort of like a audio commentary. If you haven't seen a watch along before, we'll kind of just be your companion for watching this. So, Robbie, you ready?
As I'll ever be, man.
All right. So I'll count us down.
Yeah.
I was going to say from 10, but that'll go forever, won't it? Right. So we'll count down. We'll count down from 5. Right.
All right, go on.
Yeah, you good? You ready for that?
Yeah. Yeah, am I counting with you?
No, I'll count. But
all right, such it. I don't want to count then.
No, because that just make things confusing because you won't know the pace I'm going at. Right. Anyway,
right,
for those live and those on demand, we're about to get going in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play. I should have said that. I'm going to say play.
SummerSlam.
Ico Pro. Here we go.
Ico Pro.
Ooh, nice little intro there from Vince McMahon. Look at that. The flag. There we go. The towers we were talking about earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Some of this fashion, mate. It's all coming back, to be fair. Look at that face paint. Britain loves. What's that sign say? Can't say it. Loads of really good face paint for the warrior there.
You're like a second ahead of me.
That's probably one of the most famous clips from this show is that kid saying the British Bulldog's going to win whether he wants to or not. Threatening the Bulldog. What are you talking about, kid? This ridiculous music.
Thing. Yeah, what is going on? That is some strange music, isn't it?
It is. Oh, man, I've just realised this is all the stuff they're going to do for Clash at the Castle, isn't it? All this cheesy crap.
Yeah.
I'll get my Guinness ready now. It's boiling over in the UK by the time. By the way,
it is sweating, by the way. So just to please appreciate
the masked man over here.
No, I know how Ray feels.
Look at that beautiful Thames.
Do you think it was cleaner back then?
Nah, it was probably worse, to be honest. Okay. SummerSlam graphic up there. We got a capacity crowd. There we go. Over 80,000, Vince is claiming. Mate, the fans are excited. I can't help but look at it and go, oh, man, the FA Cup. What a shot, though. Yeah, go on.
It's mad how far people are sitting back and the ring's right proper in the middle. Like,
yeah, I mean, especially when the screens weren't quite what they are these days.
Yeah.
I mean, I love... Oh, hold on. Heenan's wearing a crown. Sir Bobby. Henry VIII roll as if he's a face. I don't think you realise Henry VIII's a heel, mate. Nobody cares what he would be thinking. What are you talking about? Henry VIII be rolled over his grave. Right, a bit of a woo there from the Nature Boy Bobby Heenan. What I was going to say is, and we can see the shot again a little bit here, still showing it off, is that incredible seating arrangement to make the Union Jack flag. I mean, man, the attention to detail in this show is amazing. Like, right, so first match coming up now. We've got IRS and the $1 Million Man being accompanied by Jimmy Hart. $1 Million Man on this shirt over here. There we go. Told you, someone made an effort, Rob.
I've got red and blue on, shush. Is that the shirt that Tom got you? Are they all like 8-bit?
Yeah. Oh no, I've got a different one that's 8-bit. This ain't 8-bit, but there is. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I should have found that. Maybe I didn't put as much effort in as I thought there, Rob.
Unbelievable.
Way to bring me back down to earth.
It's really weird seeing them now, like watching it back then. If you know what I mean. Like,
I have no idea what you mean. What?
It's really weird watching them come out now, because if they did, like, there'd be like managers and all that sort of stuff, like those, the IRS and $1 Million Man and stuff. But back then they were coming out.
Oh, right, and they're coming out to be in the ring, yeah, and especially because they don't dress like traditional wrestlers, especially with their entry costumes. I was gonna say their entrance costumes. Oh. Eesh. So IRS having a little dig at the British fans there. Who should probably be called HMRC for this episode. Look what an entrance this is. So we got Paul Ellering first off, and here they come. The dummies on the front as well. The Legion of Doom on their bikes. I mean, what an iconic entrance this is. Goosebumps, mate.
Oh, they look so good.
This would be fun, man, because it's good to look back on teams like, the Road Warriors, because it is completely different as far as an era goes in tag team wrestling. Of course, we always talk about on the podcast how tag team wrestling could and should be so much more, and we always get our hopes up, but these are the people that we used to always compare it to, which is kind of fading in recent years. People kind of only really mention the Attitude Era, you know?
That hair, boy. Whew.
I know, mate. I'm thinking about doing the same. Gone for a gold this time with the shoulder pads. Monochrome kind of gold. Very nice.
I thought they would have gone more red, white, and blue. Gold's lovely, but for
gold
the
is
Union
lovely.
Jack.
Yeah, but maybe they're trying to be royal or something.
Possibly.
If it's like a crown or something.
Them ropes look nice as well.
Yeah, but they're like the old school ropes anyway, innit? I was thinking that when I was watching some clips the other day. I don't know if it's... I mean, they used to have these ropes anyway. And you got to remember, America's colours are the same as well. So.
Yeah, I guess.
But it looks cool. See, something that would be different now is you look at the SummerSlam banner. Of course, I used to use the same graphics a lot. Nowadays, I reckon it would be more kind of bespoke kind of logo. Do you know what I mean? It'd be SummerSlam logo with a British kind of twist, whether it had the Union Jack on it or something like that. I mean, you look at Clash at the Castle, of course, it's got the Welsh Dragon, it's got the sword and stuff like that. So crowd are really into it, man. Look at the amount of foam fingers are there as well.
Do you know what I love though? Going back and watching all this old stuff, right? There's not one phone in sight, and people are just in the moment.
Yeah.
Like, I know I sound really old saying that.
Do, mate.
You know what I mean?
Do. But yeah, it's tough because, I think we're all guilty of it, even though we all pretty much say the same thing. But you want to kind of record. There was a point where I used to record everything I went to, concerts and stuff like that. And then I got to a point of going, especially back in the day, it was like, my quality is not going to be as good as what, the official thing is anyway. And secondly, other people are filming all around me. I can find this on YouTube. Because back in the day, I go concerts and try and find it on YouTube afterwards. That's weird when you're young, you do stuff like that. I don't know if people still do things like that, but I seem to have grown out of that. But then I started recording again because of doing all this kind of work that we do, like you never know when we're going to get some good footage to use. So I've kind of been trapped back into it, but I try not to live it through my phone. Try and be in the moment.
Ugh.
Okay, we haven't really commented on any action here, but
just having a conversation while they're going on. Yeah, so it's 2 huge clotheslines, by the way.
Was it Animal? It was, wasn't it? Yeah. On the outside. Oh, Animal wants in. Okay. We got IRS and Hawk's about to tag Animal in.
Did you have a favourite out of Animal or Hawk?
Nah. Yeah, I really didn't. I felt like they were so similar, but different enough that they complement each other. But I never really I don't know. I think being someone, I mean, just to give context to those watching, we were probably about, 3 years old. Me and you are about the same age, aren't we, Rob?
Yeah.
So we were about 3 years.
Oh, it was August 31st. So I was 1 coming up to 2 that year.
Okay, yeah. So obviously we wouldn't have been watching it at the time. And our generation would have mainly seen in the Attitude Era that strange stuff they did with Hawk.
That lift.
And that was a good little power slam there. Oh, look at that. DiBiase scared and gets out of the ring. Yeah, and then we would have watched the run, of course, with Heidenreich once Hawk had passed away. So I think, we've probably all seen a lot more of Animal. If you are a younger fan, definitely. But so I guess there's a chance that he would be in your kind of,
Yeah, he was always my favourite for that reason.
Because you just spent more time watching him.
Even with Heidenreich, though, like, it wasn't.
He was the cooler out of him and Heidenreich.
It was, yeah,
sure.
yeah.
I didn't mind Heidenreich at times, though, to be fair. But, yeah.
I reckon we need to get one of them dummies.
I know, yeah. To be honest, I don't really know much about that dummy. Do you?
No, I know there was a lot of weird things like that sort of back in them, like in the 90s, 80s, 90s.
Well, I know, of course, Bulldogs had Matilda. Loads of people had animals, to be fair. Jake the Snake.
Exactly. It was like an extra thing. I mean, didn't Paul Heyman come out with like a phone? Was it a phone?
Yeah. He used to have the big old phone.
They used to have an additional gimmick.
Something to carry, yeah. Oh, okay. So we had a little kind of, is Hawk going to give up there? Arm goes in the air. The crowd go for it. Typical back him up into the turnbuckle spot there. It looks cool, man. The stadium setting looks amazing. And seeing the sunlight like that, I'm sure it's going to look, as the day goes on.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. It reminds me of that WrestleMania years ago where we were all panicking whether or not Undertaker was going to come out and it was be too light out.
Yeah.
But speaking of which, he's on this show and it's not. Whoa, that was a risky dive there.
Yeah. Oh, bloody hell! He's gone out the ring and all.
Yeah,
you're
so
like a millisecond ahead of me.
Am I? Okay, I'll stop a quick second just in case the rest of the viewers are the same. DiBiase lifts him up, slams him down, but for me, boom, I'm back. And now, Animals just got out of the ring. Ellering's casing Hart round. Okay. Yeah, Hawks kind of looked like he slipped. Bit of an awkward jump.
He's a big guy, though.
I know. I don't want to get into too much speculation about certain things that were going on back then, and I don't want to kind of say for sure, but I'm sure. I don't want to say sure, but I'm sure. I'm pretty sure, at least. I remember a few interviews about certain people on this show being under certain influences and it being difficult, and I feel like someone in this match might have been as well, without getting too deep into it because I can't be sure. But I know definitely later on it's well documented that Davey's not in a great state, but we'll get to that later on. He does still have an amazing match still, but Bret's told the world about that a million times. But anyway, back to this match. We've got DiBiase in the ring, going after Hawk now. Animal patiently waiting, as patient as an animal can, for his partner to come over and tag him. Okay, and for anyone that's maybe skipped out and lost where they are at the moment or anything like that, give it timer to count down, let you know when we're going to be on 13 minutes very, very soon. So I'll start counting down in a moment, just if you want to line us up to 13 minutes.
Mm-hmm. Do you know what I find incredibly strange?
Hold on. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're on 13 minutes now, and we'll keep doing this throughout the show to try and keep people in sync. Sorry, Rob, what were you going to say?
So nowadays, the baby faces would be where the $1 million side is, right? So they would have swapped because they like to see the baby faces struggle and their facial expressions on camera. Like that's what they do now.
That's a good point. I never really noticed that, to be honest.
It's weird seeing the heels on the camera facing side.
I never really noticed. I never really pay attention to that. That's a good point, actually. I think you're right.
So it's very strange. It's very strange seeing it that way and not them being flipped.
Quick comment here, just a simple hi, and that's
Howdy.
that's you know, sometimes that's all you need. Rosalina, thank you very much for joining us. Hope you.
Are you watching it with us? That's
yeah. Hope so. Again, if you're not watching the show with us on time and you want to kind of get in loop, every now and then we'll kind of bring you back in to where we are, just in case you've lost sync because you need to go toilet or whatever it was, or just watching live and you join us late. Bit of a whack against the turnbuckle pad in there for Hawk's head. He's coming for the tag, but IRS stops him, or HMRC as we should be calling him, as I said earlier.
It's still that weird time, isn't it, where there was a lot of gimmicked character like wrestlers.
Yeah.
So I don't know how we're so used to not seeing it now. I don't know how it's going to be watching it back and then seeing how cheesy it was.
Well, I mean, it gets more so in the like early to mid 90s. I mean, this is the early 90s, of course, but about 3-4 years, you know, 94, 95 really does get really bad. So, and of course, they use that, they credit that as to what turned people off, you know, and turn them on to WCW instead. But, you know, these things come in cycles, and of course, you know, wrestling's been like that forever. You know, you think about certain characters that we've kind of had to endure recently, or 10 years ago, 15 years ago, and it kind of
Brodus Clay.
You know what? I was watching some clips of him the other day, and I was remembering him quite fondly. I was thinking, wow.
Was that the clip when he was talking about John Cena?
Yeah.
And he gave him his WrestleMania moment.
Yeah. Chris Van Vliet, if you want to check it out, does some great interviews here in the wrestling scene. There's a lot of kids here, man. Look at the steps, man. Look at some of the fashion again. I've got to point it out. That pink tracksuit there was beautiful. All right, we're going for a suplex attempt, but then no, Hawk picks him up, and I gotta say, you know, as much as you know, we look back on these stars, this is a very gimmicky, typical, almost cheesy wrestling match. You know, I'm not saying these guys don't have it in them to do certain things, but this is literally like watching something at a holiday camp. You know, that's what this feels. That's what this feels like. You know, I'm not saying in quality. Don't get me wrong. And again, I don't want to be harsh. I've seen some great wrestlers at holiday camps over the years growing up as well. Some who went on to big things. But what I mean is the style of match.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Of course, but you can hear it. You can hear the youth in the audience. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people try and look back on this as if it was like, you know, when they come to the UK, generally speaking, it's a lot of smart fans, you know, because we've waited so long to see him. It's like the WrestleMania.
Oh,
you know?
Shoulder block.
Big explosions there from Animal. He's finally got in.
It's weird seeing him do drop kicks like that, you know.
It is, yeah. I mean, size of him as well. But yeah, to do, you know, to come over here, it's usually things like that. And a lot of people have this kind of up there, especially British fans, is that, you know, this massive show. And of course it's a huge show. But what I mean is there's almost this rose tinted glasses of like the style of show that it was. It's a very youth orientated show, especially from what we've seen so far. And that's because that was the demographic for wrestling fans at the time. I mean, kids are always massively into wrestling, don't get me wrong. It always takes up a big portion of it. But I think at this time...
Arguably one of my favourite finishing moves, you know.
What the... Doomsday Device, wasn't it? That was it.
Yeah.
I was trying to think what it was called then. Then I started to remember when the Dudleys did it and they called it 2D, didn't they?
Yeah. Was it 2D? I thought it was not Dudley Death Drop.
No, that's 3D.
That something else?
That's the 3D. Oh my gosh, that was it.
Oh, bloody hell.
Animal picks up the win. Wait. So they didn't do the Doomsday Device. And Amazon, I didn't call it. Animal just gave him I think it was a scoop slam. Did he just win with a scoop slam? Don't get me wrong. Sometimes we've got a bit too far away from these things of wrestling, doing a million kind of pile drivers and whatever. But to win with a scoop slam.
Sorry. I see the back of the doll's head, right?
Yeah.
And for a minute, I was like, what's Eric Bischoff doing in the ring? Oh, bloody hell.
I love the classic Vince over-the-top commentary as well. Calm down, mate.
was a nice scoop slam.
It's a whispering shout. Go on, what? Nice scoop slam.
So
it was a nice
yeah,
scoop slam. Does it deserve a win in an opening pay-per-view? I don't know. Here we go. The Nature Boy. Interview backstage now with Mean Gene. Classic. Beautiful purple robe there. Strange period, isn't it? Seeing Flair in WWF back then. Because it's remembered fondly, but it was, he was still always a WCW guy, NWA guy,
Yeah. I mean, when I think early Flair, I always think that NWA, WCW.
Yeah. Like one of his most, like when people think of Flair in this time, personally anyway, I think of the clip where he put the chair for Hogan to get tombstoned on by the Undertaker. I think of him, the fact that he was supposed to probably face Hogan, and didn't. I think he faced Savage instead, didn't he? And then also, him coming in as a real world's champion and them having to cover it up and all that kind of stuff because of copyright. And in the end, he had a tag title just blurred. So it's a strange, period in his career. There are a lot of what ifs. Not that those things don't stand out, but they're, yeah.
I know what you mean.
He's kind of perfect being. So much personality in Mean Gene. Like, they don't allow him to do this anymore. Winston Churchill. You can get away with that now, Gene. Okay, so Flair is obviously alluding that Mr. Perfect is going to be in his corner. Virgil now we see backstage getting ready. Even what he's talking about there, like you just said, the characters of like an ex-con called Nailz, and then Harry was with the big boss man, who of course is a cop. Well, that was a scary shot, wasn't it?
I love promos back in the day. They're so over the top.
They are. Like when I remember growing up and, seeing people's impressions of wrestling. It'd always be stuff like this. Or like Hogan or Warrior and shouting and whatever. And I used to be like, that's not what it's like. But, that's it. This period made an impression on a lot of people.
How many people there do you reckon have watched this back and gone, oh, there I am?
Well, at least 80,000 of them.
Dude,
but honestly, the amount of kids there is insane. That I'm sure, knowing how things work in the UK for events like this, some of this is schools. It has to be.
Do you reckon?
It has to be, yeah, because there's like loads of kids together where you don't see an adult for a while. So I reckon it's like, especially back then, like you see school trips now at the London Underground. I was like high vis jackets, 15 adults counting and all this stuff. Back when we were kids in this era, like it was just one guy barely looking, like looking after you, and 30 kids. Honestly, look how many kids you see together, but like hardly any adults when it shows up close.
Were you a fan of Virgil?
Never really saw much of him, to be fair. Yeah, exactly. Like, not to be harsh. I think I've told a story on Talk of Beans about when me and Tom met Virgil. So I'll hold back on that just in case. I think we've already told that story. Or maybe I'll tell it. But we went to a thing. Nailz didn't get an entrance, did he? We went to a event after WrestleMania, the Hall of Fame of WrestleMania 29 in New York. And Virgil was there. It was like, he was a bit of a signing thing as well. It was like a party after the Hall of Fame. and Virgil, of course, was there. You know the cliche about Virgil. You know, he's trying to make money any way he can. But to be fair, quick side note, I know he hasn't been in good health lately, and he was actually trying to raise money for that. So everybody check that out, and we wish him the best. But we can't hide from the fact the cliche is, you know, the joke of Virgil kind of trying to get any way he can get money out of fans at conventions and stuff. And he had the $1 Million Championship, and our mate was wearing a suit, and we convinced our mate, being like, because he'd had a few and I'd had a few, and obviously Tom doesn't drink, so he hadn't. But Tom was still in a jolly mood, and we just convinced our mate, "What, go on, just pay for a picture, man." So we got a picture of our mate. It was like, "You're in a suit. When are you going to be in a suit with Virgil and the $1 Million Championship, mate? You could be the $1 Million Man." So we convinced him to pay like $25 or whatever it was just to get this photo. But
was that person? I won't say the full name. Adrock? Is that who
it was? Adrock, yeah. It was
right.
Adrock, yeah. I've got to find a picture. I wish I remembered that in time for this. I would have put the picture up, but yeah, I was like, yeah, man, like, you're wearing a suit. How often are you going to be around the $1 Million Championship and Virgil in a suit?
True.
Come on.
Do you know what Nailz reminds me of? Like, just before we got like Isaac Yankem.
Right.
I know it's a different character, but it's got that look, the hair, that face about him. Like, it could have been Isaac Yankem before like Glenn Jacobs was, if you know what I mean. Like, he has that look about him, that sort of character.
Right, okay, yeah.
And he's a big guy. Why is he going under the bottom rope? Like,
just crawling out. What do you think of Virgil's attire there?
it's all right. It's
stripes.
I don't know. Yeah, obviously, I think it's got more of an American vibe than it does.
It does, yeah. I mean, to be fair to Virgil, you know, a lot of times, like you say, you just see his eyes just there, but clearly in this period, he's been billed and put across as a baby face.
Yeah,
and the fans are cheering him. Bit sloppy there, though, taking that close.
That was. Do you reckon that number on the back of Nailz' attire means something?
Well, like a hit, yeah. Like, obviously, it's supposed to be like his inmate number, yeah. But I wonder if it does correlate with something. We do, if you know, when we do things like Rebellious Noise, when we've got to pick numbers, we do end up doing like little hidden Easter eggs. If you could figure them out someday, guys, yeah, it'd be good to do so. But yeah, I mean, again, another match that just feels a bit like again, holiday party. That's it. What I mean, that was a terrible end. Like, I mean, I know it's supposed to be a submission, you know, bad guy won't let go, but I mean, it weren't. He just shook him a bit.
I don't know how I feel about that, you know?
Shook his neck, mate. Right, so he's got the big boss man's nightstick. So he's coming over to Virgil. Are we going to get a save here? The big bad Nailz is coming at you. Going to hit him out of Wembley Stadium. Oh, to the gut. I mean, that's the point as well. We've just seen $1 Million Man who is associated usually with Virgil. And, of course, he's a heel. Virgil's a babyface at this point, so they are separate.
That is true.
Oh, he just does an awkward kick. Is this... I mean, I know we was looking for the formula, like someone's going to come for the save now, but... Okay.
He does look menacing, though.
He does, yeah. I wouldn't like to meet him in a dark alley. Or a light alley, mate, for that.
I'll just
wonder, you know, like...
just don't want to meet him.
Just don't want to meet him. And that was it. No save, nothing like that. Now... Okay. Knocking at the door. Macho Man. The Macho Man. It's been a while since we've had a Brit. It doesn't look locked.
It doesn't look locked.
Well, hopefully we can find Macho Man there. Sherri's scary, man. I don't care. I don't care what anyone says. Okay, so we're watching a promo at the moment. For those that join us late, live, or on demand, and maybe have lost their sync or anything like that, we're watching a promo of Shawn Michaels watching Bret, sucker punching Bret in the face as well. And what we do when it gets to 30 minutes, we'll tell you we are there. We're currently on 29:15. Of course, that was a bit quick for you to sync up, but I'll give you a 10-second countdown when we are getting to 30 minutes if you want to join us from there. So we've got Rick Martel promo here again with Shawn Michaels.
Shawn Michaels in them motorbike boots, so good, man. I love them boots.
The weird things we say as wrestling fans.
I know, but they look so good.
Oh, Sherri's looks like she's smitten there. Okay, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're on 30 minutes now. And we'll do that again in a little while just to make sure people are synced up with us. This is a long backstage promo, isn't it? Like explaining things to Sherri by me and Gene.
Have you noticed? As they're doing all these promos, there's no like crowd noise or anything like that.
Yeah, I think a lot of this must be pre-taped.
Must be.
Easier to do back then as well, I'm sure. A lot of love for Sherri in the wrestling industry still, isn't there?
Mm.
But it's another one of those, as time goes on, it starts to be, the noticeable influence on the surface goes down. The names don't get, as we said earlier with the Road Warriors, they don't get brought up as much as they used to as time goes on, because generations, are going to have their new heroes and the ones that they knew as kids and stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. There we go. Tennis racket in hand. Right. I think Rick Martel is fashion-wise showing off that era very cool. Another version of like it's a definite clear character. You could see him in being in a certain film or TV show at the time.
He looks like if they'd got a B-Tech version of Sylvester Stallone, put him in tennis clothing.
Well, a bit. Vince just said Wimbledon was a little while ago or something, but I swear he said Wimbledon. There we go. Shawn's early version of his song with Martel. I love this entrance with a mirror. I think it's so cool. A lot of these clips you see over the years get replayed. Like they WWF definitely got a lot of kind of use out of the show, even if it didn't do the best buy rates because of the time zone and stuff like that. It did great, I'm sure, for merchandise and ticket sales in the UK and continuing the presence to grow. But also, just again, some of the footage they've used here, they've used it in promo videos for years and years to come.
Definitely prefer his newest version song than this one.
Yeah, the one where he's singing.
Yeah.
Do you remember when she came back and sang with Kurt?
Oh, yeah. He sung that at the Hall of Fame, didn't he?
He did, didn't he? Yeah. I think he even mentioned her in that. I think he might have done.
Probably.
Shawn looks cool here. I mean, mullet aside.
Do you reckon you could rock a mullet?
Mate, I don't know. Mullets are back in, to be fair. Like, sometimes I do look at people with mullets now and I think, that's don't look bad,
It's like, what they say? Business in the front, party at the back, isn't it?
Party in the back, that's it, yeah. But Shawn is, it'd be interesting to see this match in new eyes, knowing what Shawn becomes. Of course, this is very early in his career, still, relatively at least. And, he's away from Jannetty at this point. He is Solo star Shawn Michaels on the rise. She's holding it up towards Martel there, the mirror as well. Or he's trying to get in it at least. This is like a battle of the models, really, isn't it? Okay, right. So a lot of assumption here that Sherri's kind of, they're hinting at least that Sherri's going to possibly align herself with Martel, depending on what happens on this match. But at the moment, she's definitely all on side for Shawn Michaels, who seems to be having a great time. Oh, that's a bit cheeky, isn't it? I'm doing his belt like that. Do they not know how many kids are watching? We just mentioned this. 80,000 kids, mate. Right, so Martel's at the ring. No hitting in the face, of course, as we mentioned. Both high-class models in this. Martel, Michaels, here we go. Oh.
Can you remember who wins this match?
No.
All right, no, me neither.
Okay. Michaels leapfrog, lays down. Martel, very fast action between the two of them here. Oh, little cartwheel from Martel. And
some star jumps.
Star jumps. What do they call it in America? Jumping jacks? Is that jumping jacks? For your American viewers out there?
Probably. Tell us, comment and let us know. How many can you do as well? That's all.
How many can you do? How many jumping jacks can you do? All right, so for those that have just joined us, we're around 36 minutes into the stream now. We are Michaels versus Martel. Great drop kick there from Shawn Michaels. Bit of cheer in there. It's hard to say. Wait, who is the heel and the babyface in this? I haven't really thought about it. I'm guessing Michaels, but
What, you think Michaels would be the heel in this?
no, I thought it was. I'm saying I guess he's the babyface.
He'd be the babyface.
Right?
It's got to be, right?
Even though he acts like a heel, well, that's just what Michaels does, really, isn't it? I'll tell you what,
Ooh.
Rob, I'm boiling. It's very hot in the UK. Huh?
I've got a fan on me, man.
Oh, I ain't got one on because I thought it might make a noise, too much noise, but I can't hear yours, so maybe I should have put one on. Okay.
I love it when they go from a really fast-paced bit,
Yeah,
and then they'd slow it completely down just by working a wrist lock, and just build it back up again.
This is pretty cool as well. Knocking each other down, bouncing up, threatening the face. But then, what happens if the face does get hit? Is it DQ? See, like I said earlier, you don't really remember much. You watch it as a kid. I've only seen clips, not enough to remember, like you say, who wins this match or anything like that. So it feels good to watch it and not have a clue what's going to happen at the end.
It's good, isn't it?
I did look at the other day and I saw the winners for some of them. Obviously, some I definitely remember who wins what. But this one, yeah, I'm kind of going in dark now because I've just forgotten. But so at the moment, we've got Shawn Michaels outside the ring. We should probably align ourselves with anyone that's catching us live at the moment or on demand that maybe have lost their sync with us. So when we get to 40 minutes, which is in about 2 minutes and 10 seconds time, I'll count down from 10 seconds just to let you know for sure where we are. But at the moment, we've got Martel at the ring looking like she's concerned for Shawn. So Martel is pulling away Sherri, who looks like she's concerned for Shawn, and now getting a hug as well. She really does like it. Heenan playing a great heel commentator as well, as always. I mean, she's smitten there. Okay, so we are currently on 38 minutes and 25 seconds again. When we get to 40, I'll do a countdown just in case you are waiting 40 minutes to count down with us to play perfectly in sync with our stream.
What a backdrop.
Huge backdrop there from Martel. And again, with the Star jumps. Piece of crumpet, as he just said. I don't think Heenan knows what crumpet is slang for, so we'll leave it at that.
Was it slang for that back in the day?
Yeah, I think so. More so, don't I? Oh, all right, so he's pulling his bum out. Martel's doing the same. Oh my gosh, and Shawn actually pulls his butt crack out. And now Shawn's butt crack is out. What? What is going on? Why are we seeing so much butt crack in the last few seconds? All right, I've lost time now. All right, we're 39:17. In a moment, when we get close to 40 minutes, I will count down for those that are waiting to resync up just in case. Okay, now Shawn's back in control on the model. Oh, a super kick to the chest. This for the cover 2.
I love the sound of that canvas as well, you know.
Yeah. No, it sounds good. All right, we're on 39:47, 49, 50, 39, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, and 40 minutes. Go. Okay, just as Shawn Michaels lifts up his legs as Martel runs into him. And now, of course, he's going to... Oh. He tries to get leverage on the ropes. Can't quite reach. The ref stops him. But it did sound like the ref counted to 3 anyway. Martel again trying to get a bit of the butt crack action with a roll up there. Face to face now. They're both annoyed at each other. They said no punch into the face, but did they say no butt crack?
Exactly.
They should have put that in the stipulation. Oh, a slap to the face, and Michael's done it. So what's the point now? Should he not get DQ'd? Or is it just a gentleman's agreement? Slap again now from Martel to Michaels.
I've no idea. Like,
Sherri's on the apron. You think surely... Oh, she's fainted. Oh, Sherri has fainted.
Do you know what makes me laugh? It's such a WWE moment.
I know, it's great. Mate, she's selling this like maybe she's legit out. Slides onto the floor now. Mate, great actress. Does she have a heart attack? My goodness. Right, so Shawn's concerned. Of course, Martel's getting out of the ring now to... Okay, now they're both... Here we go. Of course, we're going to have the spot. Oh, he's literally trying to give her chest compressions. Unreal. Oh, jealousy now. Who's going to bring it back to... Oh, he falls off of a little bit of awkward fall there off a little stage they've got, a little riser. And now they're just fighting. They've forgotten about Sherri. Oh, no, she's coming too.
Was she playing possum?
Oh, double count out. I think she's just come too, mate. Fixing her hair. Oh, no, now she's... Yeah, here we go. For sure. We know for sure, at least now. She's faking it. I mean, they've gone a bit far now, haven't they? They need to come back to the ring. Got to be annoying for her. She's faking it to get attention and she gets none. They're fighting each other still. Now, Shawn's realised, I guess, because he's been separated. Time to think about something else. That's a cool shot there, really, with the SummerSlam logo in the background. Shawn on his way back. Good camera work here. No, it's not a million camera cuts here like there is these days.
Nowadays, yeah. You don't get a seizure every time you watch it for 2 seconds.
No. Okay, Shawn, he's coming back. Kiss of life, maybe? No, just drags her arm. He's not done a first aid course, has he?
Definitely not.
Oh, picking her up. Okay, right. There we go. And Shawn's just going to carry her to the back. It's a long aisle, mate.
That is a long aisle.
Martel's now being restrained by the referees.
I do hope she looks up and smiles.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's why I thought they went for the pan underneath shot. Oh, he's been let go. He's running back. Straight into Michaels.
Oh!
Straight on the floor. Ooh. Power drive share, I hope not. No, he wants a carrier. This is a long segment.
It is, isn't it?
I think the ramp doesn't help. But it's funny, it's entertaining, but my goodness. She's just getting battered. I guess that's what they're trying to portray here, that they're both so jealous and they're not really caring about her. It's about what they feel about her, you know what I mean? Which, you could, is that a metaphor for some people and their view of a partner?
Imagine being that far back though.
Who? The fans?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's far, isn't it?
I hope they gave him binoculars.
Doesn't look like it, mate. Just foam fingers. Oh, here he comes.
He's got now.
He's got a bucket. This is a water fight. See, this is the thing. That they're all cheering him and he's playing babyface with his bucket. He's like, yeah. Fans are cheering him because it's just entertaining.
I feel like I'm watching a circus show.
Yeah, it does feel like that. There we go. Bucket of water. There we go. Just do it, mate. Come on. Literally in her face. I mean, is he trying to wake her up? He's revived her. There we go.
Oh, really?
Michaels runs through the back, probably laughing his head off.
She's alive.
Oh, there we go. Screaming. She reminds me a little bit of Rita from the Power Rangers.
Yeah, but she was a good heel. Rita was a great heel.
Rita was a great heel. Yeah. There she goes. Running to the back. There we go. Now we get a promo for the next match. Okay. Beverly Brothers Natural Disasters. I love those tag titles.
They were nice, aren't they?
Yeah.
Are they your favourites?
I think so, but a lot of it is again, when you get into wrestling, what do you like? Do you know what I mean? For me, the Winged Eagle's great, but the next version of it is better because that's the version I was most fond.
So
I was watching.
If I had to go with world heavyweight,
yeah.
Do you know what? Probably the Undisputed, the one that Eddie and Brock.
Undisputed is great. Wasn't used enough, man.
That was my favorite. I think only because of Eddie and Brock, that feud. And the build up. Didn't Hogan had it after, didn't he?
Hogan, take at it, yeah.
Take up.
Another high here from Sugar Vanu Katha Urum. Hope I'm saying that right. And they're saying, what is this? It's a watch along, baby. We are watching SummerSlam 1992 at the moment. We are on 46 minutes and 46 seconds. How about that of the show? If you want to join us and sync your stream up, we'll when we get to 50 minutes, which will be just over 3 minutes time, we'll give you a little countdown so you can sync up with us again as well. Unless you want to roughly try and join us from what I've just described. We've got Nasty Boys on screen now going absolutely mad. Good time while they're doing their little promo to do our own little promo. Let you know, as Rob mentioned earlier on, we will be doing a SummerSlam 2002 watch along very soon. Not sure when, but definitely subscribe if you want to find out when that will be. That's going to be a good one as well. But here we are back doing the SummerSlam 1992 one again, celebrating 30 years since SummerSlam 1992 here at Wembley here in London. And of course, we've finally got our own PLE, as they're calling it now, coming back here to Clash at the Castle at time of recording. So definitely check out the content we're going to do around that. We've got the Beverly Brothers in the ring now. We're on 47 minutes and 45 seconds. Again, when we get to 50 minutes, I will do a 10-second countdown. What did you say?
I said them shoulder pads.
I thought you said Shelton. I was like, Shelton's not in the Fed at this point.
The shoulder pads.
Oh, okay. Shoulder pads, yeah. I had a Bugs Bunny that dressed like this. Like a teddy bear. You look like a prince or a king. If you Google it, you'll find it. He's wearing like a purple robe. I loved it. Okay. Oh, the Fink, mate. Legend. Howard Finkel. There we go. So the Genius is now highlighting big things we've had here in the UK, or in Wembley, I guess, 48 Olympics, 66 World Cup, as I just mentioned. If you like football, check out our football channel as well, the Rebellious Noise football channel, RNFC, and go to our main channel, Reb Noise, REBNOISE, and there'll be links there to every one of our Rebellious Noise channels. Of course, you're joining us right here on the Rebellious Noise Pro Wrestling channel, where guess what, Rob? We talk.
We do.
Pro wrestling is what I was hoping you'd say.
All right. I was like, yeah, we do talk.
We do talk. We're at 49 minutes and 8 seconds again. When we get 10 seconds away from 50 minutes, I hope you've lined yourself up. We will be counting you down to join us again at 50 minutes if you have become unsynced. So we've got the Natural Disasters now making their way to the ring. Typhoon, Earthquake. Earthquake's another one of those fondly remembered by the generation a little bit before us, especially in the early days of the internet on wrestling. I know he was very active on forums. I remember seeing him post on a few things. Died fairly young, of cancer. I remember a few years ago, his son wrote on Reddit and stuff like that about it. It was really heartwarming. Right, we're on 49 and 49. So we've got 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're on 50 minutes now. Okay. And again, we'll do another countdown for those who join us later on or have missed it, or if you, again, get out of sync because you popped to have a little whiz or something like that. Anyway, let us know in the comments, though, what you remember of SummerSlam 1992. What stands out to you? What you like about the show? What you don't like about the show? Is it as good as everybody claims? We're about to deep dive into this. As we mentioned earlier on, Rob's watched this as a child. I've watched clips throughout the years, but never the full event. It's interesting to see it like this.
Oh,
and again, I feel like we're going to get another Holiday Park match here. Do you know what I mean?
It's got that feel to it, hasn't it?
It has. Oh, a little horn with a England.
Oh.
We talked mullets earlier, but look at the one on Typhoon, mate.
I don't think I could rock a mullet, you know.
Do you think we should do like a mullet tier list
mullet
or something like that on the channel? The best wrestling mullet.
That'd be sick. We should.
Let us know, guys, if you want us to do
I'll 100% be up for that.
A countdown of our favorite wrestling mullet. Oh, the weight just buckles on him. Earthquake's in there as well. Do you remember when Earthquake was in Oddities? What was it? Golga, was it? Was it called?
Is that the one that wore the mask?
Yeah, the mask and the Cartman shirt.
It was a strange time in the Attitude Era.
Man, he adapted, to be fair to him. Like, he played a lot of characters. WCW as well. Oh. Natural Disaster sandwich there. Two freight trainers, as Heenan said. You think they would have crammed in a British reference there? Maybe 2 double-decker buses. But no, they didn't bite. Or they didn't think of it. Oh, shoved him straight out the ring from the 2 count.
Do you know what that always reminds me of, that spot? Remember the time when I think it was Royal Rumble 2000. Big Show was on the floor and he pushed X-Pac up and out of the ring.
I don't remember. What, to eliminate him?
I think it was that, or it was like a pre-Rumble before the Rumble. It was like one of those moments, and X-Pac got thrown out of the ring from that spot.
No, I don't remember. I'd have to look it up. The thing I remember about Royal Rumble 2000 the most, as far as eliminations, is Taka Michinoku being absolutely destroyed. Don't laugh, man. It's horrific.
So what cracked me up though? It was Jerry the King Lawler's reaction to
that. It was very over the top back then. Speaking of over the top, though, I mean, again, we mentioned it earlier, but this match
that was
at the
a
moment,
good pun, by the way.
Natural Disasters, Beverly Brothers it's very over the top in character. I mean, we've got mullets, we've got blonde mullets here as well.
We definitely need to do this mullets here thing. That'd be great.
Tell us in the comments, everyone. What's your favourite mullet in the history of pro wrestling? I mean, Shawn's up there. Probably one of the most famous. Shawn Michaels. Who else? Oh, Lex Luger's mullet when he appears on Nitro.
Oh, yeah.
in that massive white shirt as if he's like about to join the Brood. Saying that Gangrel sort of had a mullet at times. As Gangrel, I know he had it earlier on as well in his career for sure. Because it was the thing. Taker even had a mullet. Right, we're getting a bit too deep into the mullets here. What?
Brutus the barbecue. Brutus, beefcake.
Brutus,
He had a mullet.
Yeah.
We definitely need to do it. Yeah, it'd be great.
What should we call it? Like Mullet Mania or something?
Please do that. And then just on all the graphic bits, just have like a mullet on the side.
Yeah, stay tuned, guys, if you want to see quality wrestling content like that. But at the moment, we are watching SummerSlam 1992. We're about an hour into this stream and about 54 minutes into the show itself. If you just joined us live, thank you very much for joining us. Again, let us know what you remember from SummerSlam 92. And yeah, does it live up to expectations? Have you watched it recently? Are you watching it currently with us? Starting to get a bit dark there outside the stadium. Of course, this would have been August, so it's well into summer there. Oh, that was a bit dodgy looking headbutt, wasn't it?
It looks a bit dodgy, didn't it? It did look a bit dodgy.
Like he snapped his head back a bit there. Match has slowed down a little bit here, which is saying something for, you know, when two of the opponents are big guys anyway, you'd expect a very slow match, but it was quite fast in the early going.
It's crazy to think, though, that the guys that are slowing it down aren't the big guys.
Aren't the big guys, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. A lot of air horns going off there.
That's the second time they've done that spot.
What, with the ref being confused about who's meant to be the legal man? Yeah, someone's not paying attention. So we just had a little combination there, tag team wrestling classic, a bridge into an axe handle smash into Typhoon's back. Genius is on the outside, being a typical heel kind of manager. Soccer player, Heenan says. Of course, there we go, another British reference. They've got to cram him in. I can't wait to see what they do at Clash of Castle. I mean, I'm going to be there, to be fair, so I won't hear the commentary, but even on the live show, I'm sure they'll kind of reference it. One of my favorites, I went to a live show years ago. I think I've mentioned this on Talking Beans, is that Christian, when he was a heel in like 05,
right?
He referenced Beckham missing a penalty to get people to boo him. So that was like fair play, mate.
Anything to get some heat, man.
Exactly. I'm all for it. It's a bit of cheese, but why not, man? Okay, here we go. Typhoon comes back with a whacked off the turnbuckle, but into a double clothesline. Bit of a sluggish one there.
This has got to be the hot tag, isn't it?
Yeah, but is Earthquake going to run in as if he's like one of the Usos? I don't think so.
I don't see him springboarding off.
No. I don't think he will. It won't be a hot tag. It'll be a lukewarm tag. Oh,
bloody hell!
Right. So if you just joined us, we're on 57 minutes and 35 seconds. We'll sync up again at 60 minutes, so on the hour mark. I guess we'll try and do this every 10 minutes. Do you think that's all right, Rob? 10 minutes is a good time to sync people in. Unfortunately, we don't have a clock or anything like that on here on the stream, but we'll try our best to kind of keep you in the loop. Thanks everyone that's joined us. Of course, we only announced officially the time we would be doing this yesterday. So if you want to know when we're going to be doing the 2002 one, please subscribe.
What's he got?
I don't.
What is that?
Is it a ring bell?
No,
metal scroll. Oh, it's a metal scroll. It's the Geniuses. Yeah, hits him over the back there. Bit of a conk on the old shoulder blade. Oh yeah, so the title's in it. Earthquake's having none of it. Look at that, mate. That bounce off the ropes, man. Maybe you could do a hot tag after all.
I still don't see him doing a springboard. It's not happening.
Mate, that That bounce off the rope into an elbow drop was pretty much a springboard. See how much he bounced backwards. Go on, Earthquake. Get the tag. Typhoon, move over.
Can you remember who wins this one?
No.
Oh, it's the hot tag, baby.
There we go. Hot tag. I told you, lukewarm at best. Oh, that's a massive smash to the head, though. Again, that canvas has sounded good. They've mic'd this up good and proper.
They have.
Earthquake, go and go.
Hey!
Hip toss. So Earthquake's gear, obviously the bit on the just below the text saying Earthquake is meant to be a bit like I'm guessing an audio sound wave of an Earthquake.
Yeah. Is it,
but it'd be cool if it was.
So is it something scale, isn't it?
Richter?
Is it Rick? Yeah.
I thought he was going to do a moonsault there. Because that's like the typical spot. We're so conditioned for like modern indie-fied wrestling that you do the two little shoulder barges in the corner. You're going to do a moonsault backflip and do another. I literally thought Earthquake was going to do it. Right, we're getting to 60 minutes in a second. We've got 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're on an hour. Join us now if you are out of sync, hopefully. Right. Earthquake really
slam.
Taking names here. It's over. He's signaling. Anyway, I was saying here we go. Bounce it around. The fans went mad for that. Earthquake is over. Mate, look at this. He's knocked him off the side. He literally... All right, Earthquake gets the win for the Natural Disasters, keeps the titles. He bounced so far off that rope. We joked earlier about him coming in lukewarm. Mate, he bounced so far, he nearly decapitated his opponent because he landed on nearly his... I'm so excited, I can't get my words out. And his jaw and chin nearly decapitated the guy. And now they've got the genius.
Going to throw him like a lawn dart.
And the Buffalo's gone outside.
Oh, there he goes.
There we go. Both feet at the floor. If this was the Rumble, you'd be out, mate. Right. So you got the titles here. Anyway, what I was saying about his gear is these days, I reckon you'd have to tech easily because I've seen people do this as tattoos for Spotify things, that you can share things like that, little clips of music. You probably could get like an actual audio piece and like scan it. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
It took me a long time to say that because I got so into the action, but come on, mate. Natural
what I like as well?
Cool. Go on.
The Natural Disasters, their attire, look, black and red, and then the other side is red and then black. It's reversed. And then the white's still in the middle. Yeah.
Do appreciate that. Also appreciate these old school graphics there.
I think we need to do a Rebellious Noise old school graphic for the next time we do it.
Here we go. New Zealand's favourite tag team. The Bushwhackers. They're hyping up Mr. Perfect and which corner is going to be him. Bush and Luke, mate, legends of the game. Wait, someone's trying to sell him the London Bridge. Okay. Right, we've lost Rob for a minute. I'm sure he'll be back in a moment. Thank you once again, everyone joining us here. We're currently watching the Bushwhackers promo backstage. Wacky as you would expect. Buckingham Palace, as Mean Gene calls it. Right, so Royal Sardines they're going to have. On Royal China, they say. A lot of royal theme here, of course. And again, part of my big fear about Clash at the Castle is going to be that as well. I understand kind of using the imagery and stuff. It's not just the UK that get that treatment, don't get me wrong. But yeah, it's just a bit much at times, isn't it? Okay, so they carried on talking. They just faded them out, basically. Okay, so Lord Alfred Hayes now on the camera. He's now outside the Warriors thing, which looks like it's been made by a child. that little warrior graphic there. So he's saying he thinks Perfect's in the dressing room of the Warrior. He's whispering now. I feel like I should whisper. That is a bit dodgy, Alfred. He's going to try and surprise him. Oh, and a hand shuts him out. What do you expect, you creep? No, it doesn't. Mate, you were ruder. You opened the door without asking you. I like you, Lord Alfred Hayes, but that was uncalled for. Don't you dare say they were rude. There we go. I think we've got Repo Man in the ring now. Yes, we do. All right, so Repo Man versus Crush. Gotta say, like, it's hardly a stacked card, is it? You know, some classic characters in the sense that they're iconic for their time. They remind you of this period in WWF, but I mean, it'll be interesting when Rob gets back. Maybe we'll kind of compare the SummerSlams around it to see, you know. But some of it is like, let me look at them. They're all kind of taunting. The fans are into it. Again, we got a beautiful wide shot of the crowd set up like the Union Jack. Looks amazing, that. But yeah, I mean, the fans are into him, don't get me wrong, but I think it's more like when we used to get certain shows here and you'd get like the B crew coming along and stuff. And people go mad because we want to see certain people still. There we go, Repo Man. I can't see this match lasting too long. Again, don't really have memories of it. Right. Crush gets him up in a Gorilla Press Slam. Okay. Impressive there. Impressive presses. Slams him over. Another great mullet. If you've just joined us, we've been debating who's got the best mullet in the Fed at the time. It's a very long mullet, this one. Probably the longest we've seen so far on this show, at least. Michaels is up there, but this is... I mean, look at that flowing mullet. Crush, another character that kind of changed a lot and changed all the times, really. Got different gimmicks and stuff like that. Right, okay, so Crush has picked up the Repo Man. Not much going for the Repo Man in this match so far. The only thing he can steal is our hearts with sympathy, maybe, at this stage. Just Crush has got him up in the corner there, and not much going on in this match so far, guys. Bit sloppy, if I'm honest. What do you think? A bit of a backbreaker there. Impressive, as Heenan says, one hand, yeah. Once again, if you're joining us on demand or live, but you're out of sync with us, we'll kind of have a chance to sync back up in a moment. We're currently on 1 hour, 7 minutes, and around 35 seconds. When we get to 1 hour 10, I'll give us a 10-second countdown. So if you want to get yourselves ready to 1 hour 10, we'll count you down in a moment when we get there. Right, the Repo Man started to take control a bit here. And speaking of take control, we've got Rob back in the house as well. Rob, I don't know how much you've seen, but we've got the Repo Man versus Crush. And we were talking mullets, mate, but look at the one on Crush there.
That is phenomenal. Sorry, I had to...
It's the longest one.
It...
What'd you have to do? Do some lucha business?
No, I mean, I'll happily share it online. So I got hit with the COVID. And I've been called by the manager. I was like, before I can go, I need to make sure I've got 2 positive tests as a negative. 2 COVID tests as a negative. So I've just had to send them over. So I had to do one. I've done one already, and that was negative. Thankfully, I've done the other one, and that looks like it's coming back negative. So
good.
I can go back to work again.
Just a reminder, everyone watching, it ain't over. So just stay safe out there, everyone, because it ain't nice if you do get it. Of course,
no, it's
not to get too deep into it, but of course there are things to hopefully mean it isn't as damaging as it was originally. But yeah, everyone stay safe out there regardless. Glad you're feeling better, Rob. We are on 1 hour, 8 minutes and 55. Again, when we get to 1 hour 10, I'll give us a 10-second countdown. Mate, I'm sweating. Yeah. Oh, again, the UK is very hot at this moment in time. But hey, what better time to be talking SummerSlam, eh? Repo Man going up now. Crush has caught him. This is a very sloppy match. Like the fact, again, I don't want to be harsh, but the fact that, you know, these are in a prime position on one of the most prestigious shows. In hindsight, of course, we look at SummerSlam 92 like this anyway. But, you know, just for the fact it's a huge show for a huge company. Okay, he's won with a crush of the skull, hence the name. Crush wins. Not much of a match going on there. Like a lot of these matches wouldn't be out of place on main event. I don't know. I was going to say Raw, but I won't even. You know, I missed the 10. It's 1 hour 10. Sorry, I forgot the countdown. I'll do it 1 hour 11, everyone. I'll do it 1 hour. I was so annoyed by the match. We got an ICO Pro thing going on there. Sorry, everyone, if you were waiting for my countdown. Again, we're going to try and do them every 10 minutes to keep everyone in the loop.
It's always giving me flashbacks to. Do you remember back in the day when we had the old wrestling rings and they were blue and they had the blue steel steps always connected and
the toys, you mean?
Yeah. Do you remember?
Yeah.
And it was like the bell was connected to it as well, and you could ring.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, it's probably giving me that vibe.
Well, this is what it's based off, to be fair, mate.
Well, yeah, but
Right.
do you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, it's nice to remember that.
Yeah, of course. It's good. It's good for nostalgia, mate. Right, we're in 1 hour 45. I'll give us a 10-second countdown in a moment for 1 hour 11. Okay, we've got 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1 hour 11. Everybody, if you've been out of sync, hopefully you're with us again now. We've got the Ultimate Warrior in a not backstage promo, a promo from previous weeks, I should say, with Macho Man and Ric Flair's coming out in a lovely suit, I gotta say. Warrior pounding his chest and perfect on a mic. Look at how Randy Savage is running. Oh, he's knocked someone over there.
Cameraman.
Who was that? Was that a cameraman?
I think so.
Okay, Perfect's got his belt around Macho Man's, I'm guessing his face or his neck here, trying to stop him. Violent that, but here comes talking of running, the man who loves to run, the Warrior. Boom to Flair, who gives a dramatic sell there.
Do you know, I was never a fan of Warrior. Not at all. Nah. I don't know
what
it was.
Things about him, but
like the face paint,
top, innit?
And the look was great.
Cool. Yeah,
but yeah, I could never get into him.
Who was you then, Hogan?
Hogan, kind of a little. Like my first introduction was like luchador wrestling. Clearly. You know,
yeah, it's in your blood, mate.
Yeah, mate.
Generations.
So like Ray and Eddie and you know Hoovy Tooth Guerrero and whatnot. So I just loved all that stuff. Yeah,
it's a completely different style, of course. Has he got in that? He's got fake muscle spray paint on.
Yeah.
No, it's a singlet. It's a singlet.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Kind of cool.
It's like if RVD and Giant Gonzalez were combined. That'd be that singlet.
That. It saves going to the gym. Once again, thank you to everyone watching with us on demand or live. Really do appreciate it. Subscribe if you want more of this, because soon we'll be doing another watch along, which will be 10 years after this one. Will be SummerSlam 2002. Can't wait to do that. I mean, talking of a stacked card, that one's incredible. Because when you were gone, Rob, I was basically saying that this card, up until this point, it's been quite. almost B or C show, you know?
Yeah.
It's not massively impressive. I try not to mean any disrespect with that, but I think those watching can understand what I'm saying here. It's not on top. This is a lot of recap. This is ridiculous.
Like, I thought we had a lot of recap now.
Yeah, like we're literally watching the full clips. Like no narration. Earlier, at least we had narration from Mean Gene while he was just showing it to Sherri, but this is insane. I guess it's the same these days. To be fair, we have like a 3-4 minute music video promo. Maybe they just weren't really doing it then. Excuse me, a little bit of a burp.
At what point was the rock and wrestling combining? Was that around about this time, or was it a bit?
No,
later?
That's before. That's late 80s.
Was it? Was it?
Well, like 80. Yes, around. No, it's early mid 80s because WrestleMania 1's around the same time.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah. Yeah, that was great stuff. Again, we're still watching this recap. I'd love to be telling you more. I'm sure you're watching with us, but not much else going on. Massive recap. I guess it's giving us a bit of inside information, more background information, I should say, into what's going on. But yeah, I wouldn't say it's very entertaining. If I was watching this like properly without doing watch along with you guys, I'd just be thinking, can we just get to what we're supposed to be watching here? And I'd fast forward. But we're trying to stay in sync with everyone. So although I'm tempted, we will stick with it. And I hope you'll be the same watching yourselves. Once again, let us know what you remember about 92 SummerSlam. What, is it up there? Especially as non-Brits. If we've got any non-Brits watching with us, it'd be interesting to hear what you think of this. Because, of course, this has a massive place in the hearts of British fans. So what do you think as a non-British fan if you are out there and you aren't from these isles? Right, we go back to Mean G. It's all about Mr. Perfect, Rob. Whose corner is he going to be in? Bobby's got
still got that crown on.
Crown. Yeah, I bet he had it. Yeah, he must have had it off because he had the headphones on.
Do you know what I find interesting as well? If Vince was at the front, right, doing a commentary, who was at the back doing all the leading and stuff like that?
Gorilla, innit? That's why it's called Gorilla Fishing.
Do you reckon it was him? But then,
well, he would have been back there, of course. That's where the name comes from.
Been.
But who's calling the final shots? I mean, there must have been a lot of times where they turned Vince's mic off and he spoke just to the back. I'm guessing.
Do you reckon they had like a back button?
There must. I mean, there is now, isn't it? There is.
Yeah,
the commentators can do it. So, I mean, I would say I won if there were times where they slipped up, but we could still get that these days. We don't really. It's happened a few times, but you'd imagine back then maybe more with Vince because Vince is going to be more eager to talk to people backstage than people who are on commentary now are being spoken to by Vince. But yeah, interesting point actually. It must have been not easy to keep it going. All right, so here we go. So controversial in some ways, but the WWF title is going on before, of course, the Intercontinental title, because as we know, Intercontinental title is going to headline. Of course, that's because Davey Boy Smith, the British Bulldog, being a hometown boy, so to speak. Of course, he's not from London, but he's from the UK. Is going to be in the main event. Now, this looks cool. What a shot that is as well. Warrior
I would have been knackered just from that run,
Yeah, but it looks good with the clouds and the sunset. Oh, mate, what a shot. Spectacle is right, Vince. So Warrior's in the ring now. Pumped and ready to go.
Do you know I heard a story about how strict he was with his diet? That if he was ever in catering, he'd have a cookie and break it in his hand and just smell it. So he didn't eat it, just so he had the smell of the cookie. Yeah. I can't remember what podcast I heard it on. But apparently that's what he'd do. So he didn't eat it, but he could just smell it. And I think he only had like one. Every day was clean eating. Something like that.
I might have to do that.
Could you do that with beer? Just
no pizza. I just like sneaking pizza.
No chance. You wouldn't. You'd cave.
Yeah, it's like even thinking about it, my mouth's watering and I want a pizza, so I definitely couldn't do that. That's just ridiculous. Here we go. We've got the Macho Man coming out now. Fans are very into it as well. Again, who's playing the heel here? I don't remember. So he's the champ. Is it babyface?
Possibly. Land of Open Glory playing.
Yeah.
I only know the first bit. I don't know the rest of the song.
What, as in
Land of Hope and Glory.
The tune or the actual lyrics? Oh, okay.
That's the only bit I know. Then it's something else. That's how I've always known it.
Most songs are, mate.
Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna kill me on air. Oh, mate. As if I wasn't warm enough. Now I'm choking and blood's rushing everywhere.
We drinking Guinness?
Yeah.
Love the Union Jack on his jacket, by the way.
Oh,
that
yeah.
Nice.
It's pretty cool. Doing the warrior there. See, at this stage, it feels huge having these stars. You know, like this is it. Of course, from this generation and period, they are some of the biggest, along with Hogan. Of course, isn't on this show.
It's weird having an early WWF and not having Hogan on the show.
Yeah. No, like fireworks back then, was there? You'd think there'd be a lot of fireworks now.
That was Cody. He would have had about 6 already.
Yeah, of course.
That is a lovely belt, though, isn't it?
It is. Like I said earlier, though, I really like it, but for me, it's the one after it. Which I know is not going to be, you know, what most people say, but even for you, you know, we're same generation. You go for the one after that. So
yeah.
Again, it's a beautiful title. So it's, you know, some of it is about, you know, it's a mixture between looks, nostalgia, and things like that. If I'm honest, the better looking title out of the two Winged Eagles is the first one, but
the second one, that was when was that the one that went into the Attitude Era?
Yeah, like the rounded one, basically.
Yeah,
but it's got that lovely like Art Deco font as well, which I love. So
I instantly think of Triple H when I see that.
See, I weirdly think of Austin because I think when I bought it, like the toy version, I think Austin was either on it, like the cover, like the packaging, or I just remember seeing lots of clips of him with it. But then Triple H, Rock. But I remember that toy. It was a foam. The strap was foam. Little story actually. I think I might have told this on Talk of Means as well. I keep mentioning Talk of Means if you haven't seen it already. Actually, hold on. Here we go. They went for a little handshake, but it got intense as only it could ever really with these two performers. I think I mentioned it on Talk of Means. If you haven't heard what Talk of Means is, basically it's a podcast I also do with our friend Tom. Here for Rebellious Noise. Check it out on SoundCloud and Apple Podcasts and all that fun stuff, wherever you get your podcasts. We do some wrestling stuff there as well. But basically, I think I might have mentioned it there once before. But before, my brother, me and my young brother were like, he was kind of like trying to fight me, and I didn't want to. And he was on top of me, attacking me, and I couldn't get him off. And next to me was that title. So the only thing I could do, I grabbed it and I smashed his head with it. And he screamed. And he got a black eye like instantly. And then obviously my parents weren't too happy with it. But funny memory. But it was literally one of those do not try this out. So of course they were like, you've been watching too much. Because of course he runs downstairs screaming, Scott hit me with a wrestling belt. You know, all this stuff. It looks like I've literally just walked up to him and gone, bam! Like I've been watching too much wrestling. And you know what I mean? But it wasn't that. It was literally that he was on top of me trying to pummel me. And the only thing I could find was that title right next to me. The only thing I could do. It was dramatic, like a movie. And I just, boom. It was. But yeah, I got in a lot of trouble for that. And it wasn't even my fault.
Yep. Unbelievable. The fans are proper into this one, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. Okay, we're on 1 minute 23 and 18 seconds. At 1 minute 25, I will kind of sink us all in for anyone that's lost sync. Joined us late. Oh, a punch to the gut. Warrior's wearing an interesting outfit. He's wearing a lot of these singlets at this time, which I thought he did more later in his career.
What was he wearing before then? Was he just trunks?
Yeah, it was trunks, yeah. Wonder why.
I don't know, because he's a ripped guy, so you think they'd want to show off that physique, especially in his era.
Exactly that, yeah.
That's one of them moves that I absolutely despise, by the way. Oh, it's so annoying. Is that when when they do it reverse? Oh.
All right, so we're on 24 minutes and 4 seconds. Again, I'll count down 10 seconds when we get into 1 hour and 25. For anyone that has become out of sync or joined us late, Hebner's going for a count. Is that Dave or Earl Hebner? Looks like Earl. Then again, they look the same, don't they? So that's the whole point. I think Dave might be gone at this point as a referee. Randy Savage now going after Warrior.
Oh, big knee there.
Yeah, sharp looking knee to their face there. All right, what are we on? Okay, we're getting close to our 10-second countdown. So if you're ready for 1 hour and 25 minutes, we'll count you back into the stream if you've lost sync with us or again joining us. So we've got 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. 125. Okay.
Oh. Should have put my glass in the fridge.
Oh, what are you drinking?
Orange soda.
Who loves orange soda?
I haven't seen that in a while.
Oh, mate. We have got a film and TV channel as well, everybody. We haven't used it much lately, but we have been talking about doing watch-alongs there as well. So maybe we'll do a Keenan and Kel special.
That'd be great. Do you remember their film? Two heads are better than none.
I think, didn't you talk about that on Talking Beans podcast?
I think so. Yeah, on the Halloween episode.
On the Halloween one, yeah. We keep talking about Talking Beans. Tom's gonna love this if he's watching or if he watches back. He's gonna be like, they keep talking about my podcast.
I need to message Tom, by the way. He replied.
Forget that guy. Forget that guy. It's about me.
I love Tom.
Forget that guy. Right. Anyway, Warrior is stomping a mud hole into the Macho Man there.
Didn't really walk it dry though, did he?
Didn't walk it dry. No. Macho Man slowly picking up the Warrior. No, the other way around. Sorry. Warrior into a big old clothesline there. So it's a very slow match at this point.
Do you reckon we could have another Macho Man or Warrior? Do you think it could happen?
No. But as we said earlier, wrestling changes a lot. Obviously, a lot of rumors about becoming TV-14 soon. So I don't think now's the time for it. Excuse me. But in the PG era, you mentioned Brodus Clay. That's probably the closest we've got to this kind of character in a long time. And it wasn't this kind of character. It was just, you could see it in this era. Who would you say kind of fits?
Do you know who I think would have done wonders? Elias.
Yeah, maybe. Because he's got a certain character about him. Especially now with Ezekiel.
Yeah.
Or is it someone different? Who knows? That's what it's supposed to be, at least. I
think who else? I guess Bray would have been perfect. I think Bray would have been perfect in the Attitude Era, though, for me.
Yeah.
Other than that, though, there's not many guys. Maybe NXT's Brom Breakker.
Yeah, I mean, I think a big one, most people would say, hold on just at a moment, because Warrior looks like he's about to sell us his 80s workout video. And that weird little dance. A lot of people would say Cena is comparable because he was, the bubblegum pop kind of kid-friendly wrestler. But he's still very different to these kind of characters,
Fully.
Similar in some sense, but completely different. But that's always going to be the case with comparing, artists, so to speak, and kind of different eras. Macho Man's going up top, going for a crossbody, and nice he's caught by Warrior, who lifts up his arm just to show, look how strong I am, one-armed.
He's got him with one arm.
Why would Macho Man not be fighting out of this, though? Do you know what I mean?
That's the strength of Warrior.
Oh my gosh! All right. Back breaker there. Kick out as well. I love those kind of kick outs that make it look like they're a fish. They just flop out of it. You know what I mean? Mate, Vince is really getting high now on the helium. Blow to Macho Man's face there. Warrior. Not quite a mullet on Warrior here. But we'll see plenty more mullets, I'm sure.
I'm not really sure what that was that Warrior just done them. He's like some thrusting before he.
You can say that about a lot of his career, mate. I'm not really sure what it was he just did, but they seem to like it. Oh, nice camera angle there. Ring shook as Macho Man hit it. Got to say, it's all Warrior at the moment, so much so that his face paint's wiped off.
That's the only thing with face paint. They used to wire me up. I absolutely love the paint, but it comes off so quick.
The most frustrating one is, for me, one of them at least, is Sting getting revealed under that box.
When it was already off the top. Yeah.
Yeah. Frustrating. But bear hug there. Throws Macho Man down, goes for the pin. 1, 2. Kicks out like a floppy fish.
Tell me what reminds you of. You know Magikarp, when you finally go one against one in Pokemon, and he just it just flaps on the screen.
So I'm trying to think how we can use that name with Macho Man. Macho Carp.
That'll do it.
Yep. Oh, small package roll up. Here we go.
You love a small package, don't you?
Can't complain. Got to represent. All right, we seem to miss the 110, but we did a 25 anyway. So what we'll do is we'll sync again at 1 hour 40. We're currently on 1 hour 30 and 49 seconds, but we'll sync again at 1 hour 40.
Oh.
But if you want to roughly join us, we're at 1 hour 31 now. Now, even. Go for the pin. Not much of a match here, mate. I've got to be honest.
Do you know what it feels like? Look, they're putting on a show, like, as they are. But it doesn't feel like it's for the title, if you know what I mean.
Forgot it was a title match, yeah.
Yeah.
Good point.
Like, it really doesn't.
Oh, that was an interesting move. So he dives over the ropes and rams his face into the rope. If you're not watching with us, that probably wasn't a great explanation, but I don't know how else to explain what it just did.
I think that was perfect, to be honest.
Thanks, mate. Appreciate it. Macho Man's back is killing. He's selling it well, mate. I mean, that's what I look like when I do too much. Like, done my back.
I look like that when I get out of bed.
Same hair as well.
Yeah.
Just
That's why I've got a mask on.
This is what I look like getting out of bed. What Warrior's doing? Oh, my leg clicked. Oh.
Ooh.
All right. It's a very slow match. I mean, you think of this era and you think of Macho Man and the matches he would have. Obviously, the classic with Steamboat in the late 80s, WrestleMania 3, but flipping out, this is boring. I want to be positive, guys, but this is not fun.
Weird. I'm enjoying it. Like, I don't know. There's something about it. I like the fact that it's slow because it's like these big guys they're not exerting all their energy because they've done that at the beginning, so they've slowed themselves down. It's going to be a big finish payoff. I can't even remember who wins.
I know there will be, but I don't want to seem like if anyone watching that hasn't heard me talk wrestling before, I'm not exactly being like, it has to be spot, high spot. I'm not saying that, but they look sluggish, is what I'm saying.
They do look sluggish.
I just, for some reason, I had Macho Man in my head kind of telling me off, like, you know.
You'd expect them to be more like this.
More like,
if they've done like a 30-40 minute match and this is the ending.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Yeah. I mean, that's what they're trying to portray, to be honest. Goes to the big clothesline.
Oh!
And Macho Man ducks. massive tanglement and rollout.
It looked like it went a bit iffy.
It looked painful. Macho Man's getting up now. What's he going to go for? Could he hit an elbow? Be a great
Can't beat a Macho Man elbow, you know.
He's got
axe handle
smash. I mean, yeah. Oh, and he falls off the little thing. So that would have been great. I know it would have been high risk, high maneuver and all that, high risk maneuver, but
it would have been a good spot, wouldn't it?
It would have been a great spot if he hit the elbow drop there.
What do you think? I should have known
it because I've never seen that as a highlight. That would have been a highlight we would have seen.
It would have. What do you think of the ring being on that little plinth kind of thing above the fans?
I kind of like it.
It's nice, isn't it?
Yeah. It looks dangerous though, so maybe that's not a good thing, but it does look. I like it. Something about it, same as when TNA, I think, did it, and WCW did it when the ramp just went to the ring.
Into the ring? Yeah.
Yeah, I think even AEW have done it before. I wouldn't want it all the time, but something about it, I think it's just because it is unusual. Same as like the 6-sided ring, you know, like.
I like that ring, to be fair.
Okay, we're getting to 1 minute 35 in 20 seconds. I was count us down on 10 seconds, just so if anyone is out of sync, can sync back up with us. And we've got 1 minute 35 in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. 1 hour 35, everyone. This is a 2 hour 46 and 29 second pay-per-view. I call it pay-per-view because that's what they were called back then, of course. As you see in the title, we've called this WWF because, of course, this was in the WWF days. Here we go. Ric Flair and Mr. Perfect on their way to the ring. See, earlier, I think I commented as if Flair was in the match. He's not even in the match, is he? It was about this match.
Oh, I love that spot. That was beautiful.
What? The kick out?
The backdrop into the roll through into a pin. That was nice.
Count of two now. What's going to go?
They're still walking down.
They're still walking. And you can see Ric Flair's briskly walking as well. He's gone ahead of him though. Look. There we go. Slam by Flair's.
He's knackered.
He is knackered, yeah. Perfect's caught up with him. Warrior's now gone outside the ring, but then back inside the ring. So that was a bit confusing. It's gone for
I think it was just a waste of time, isn't it?
Gonna go for the splash. Oh, knees up. That was nice. That was nice. And see,
I never understand that thing of running either side of the rope and then doing
more momentum in it. But you kind of slow yourself down by running over the guy as well. Jumping over slows you down. So here we go. 2 kick out when he could have easily got the rope.
Got a rope there. I thought it was a rope break at first.
Yeah.
It looks weird with his hair not down and out, if you know what I mean. You know when it's like out and it's just perfect because he's slicked back. You know when it. Yeah.
So just looking at the card, we've got still to come. Well, this is Randy Savage Ultimate Warrior, but we've also got the Undertaker, versus Kamala. Tatanka versus the Berserker. The Bulldog versus Bret Hart, which is, of course, going to be a good one, a classic. I'm sure you're all aware of. Once again, though, let us know what your favorite memories are or what your memories in general are of SummerSlam 1992. Were you there? Did you watch it live? Have you watched it on tapes growing up? 2 in a kick out there. Macho Man's still in this, and he's gone for a pin himself. They really are playing the whole "we're both so tired," like you mentioned earlier on, which just feels like they've played it for most of the match, though. That's the problem. Oh, now Perfect's pulled Macho Man's leg. We've got a bit of an indicator here. Whose side Mr. Perfect is on? Ultimate Warrior sold out. I mean, really, they're both baby faces. So what they're trying to say here? Macho Man's not happy about that. I love his dramatic points. Oh, sorry, Warrior's going to come from behind now. There we go. Very slow. Warrior, speed it up, mate. Massive hit to the head there from Warrior. Macho Man goes down. He's just punching the air. Warrior's acting like he's just had a ring bell to the head. Right, here we go. He lifts him up. Oh, it's an awkward throw down. That was a bit risky looking, wasn't it? Okay, Hidden says he hit the head on the rope. I don't think he did, but he looked like he could have.
It did. It looked like he did.
Yeah, okay.
But I don't know if that was his hair just like gushing back.
The gushing locks of Randy Savage. Here we go. Oh, and the ref is down. Here we go. Here we go. Speed it up. Okay, so they're really playing up in commentary that this has helped the Warrior. The Warrior hits him with a scoop slam. He's very tired. And he's going to the top, it seems. Hebner's still quite dazed. My goodness, Warrior. Do you reckon he got paid by the minute? Because this is a bloody joke. Okay. I kind of smash. Will it do it? 1. He's counting himself. He's got a 2. That should be a 3 count, but it's not. Referee's down 1, 2. And a kick out by the floppy fish, Randy Savage. Warrior cannot believe it.
He climbed up that turnbuckle about the same speed that other people climb up a ladder in a Money in a Bank match.
They learn from the best. Warrior's kind of playing this kind of vibe. Of course, he would be annoyed, but also it plays into this kind of, is he a heel? You know? Is he kind of being a bit of a jerk, as the Americans would say? To Hebner.
The fans are cheering for Warrior by the sound of it.
They are cheering for Warrior. Oh my goodness. A knee to the back of Warrior by Savage. And Hebner just flies out the ring. Savage has got energy now. What's he going for? Pile driver. Gets him up. Holds him for a bit. Drop. Oh, snug
you know what?
pile driver.
As lovely as that move is,
yeah,
I absolutely hate it.
Because
it's
terrifying?
it's just because of the risk factor in it.
Mm.
I mean, look at Steve Austin.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a tough one. It's a hard one to get right. Do you know what I mean?
It really is.
Right, so Perfect's getting Warrior up. And now he's holding him. Flair's in his ring gear. Oh, and he hits him with, I assume, brass knucks, as the Americans
brass
call
knuckles?
it. Knuckle duster. It was a setup, as Heenan claims. Flair, again, why is he in his ring gear? He literally took off his robe to wear his ring gear to hit someone in the face once.
It's like a WWF game, isn't
it? Yeah. Savage is now taking advantage. I mean, you've got her. Scoop slam. Savage now surely going to go to the top. Will he be keeping his championship? Of course, this is 30 years ago. You might know what happens. Savage now. A little bit of a puff. Arms up. I was about to instinctively say beautiful elbow drop, but it wasn't, was it? No. You think that's Savage, but his feet hit the floor. But if you've ever jumped off a top rope, it's hard not to do that. It's your instinct. Oh, that was a 2-point.
That was a good false finish, that, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was. Perfect. Ain't happy with that. Not going so perfect for you now, is it?
Oh, I like that.
I like that. Yeah,
cheeky.
Aware of the camera. See, these are the things that somehow I lost over the years. When you are focusing maybe too much on moves and spots, as much as I say this is a slow match, the storytelling is good. It's just that I kind of want to tune out of the story if it's not at a certain pace. Right, here we go. Flair's got a chair. We mentioned earlier on one of his most infamous moments in the Federation at this point is a chair spot, actually. Warrior is hyping himself up now.
That was another thing that used to wind me up. Him and Hogan, they used to that shake.
You have to suspend your disbelief. Do you know what I mean? It's like it's very much like a superhero. Do you know what I mean? Rather than like wrestling in the days of Lou Fez. You know what I mean? Could you imagine? Like again, you just talk about how wrestling changes so much. This is only 30 to 40 years after Fez is wrestling, which by contrast is the same as us today. It'd be really interesting when we did the 2002 SummerSlam review soon and watch along soon because it'd be interesting to see how much wrestling changed in 10 years. I remember watching Royal Rumble 90 and thinking how different that was from Royal Rumble 2000. The difference was huge to me.
Yeah.
But the difference between 2000 and 2010 didn't ever seem as big. Even though it was a very different product in some ways, I always found it fascinating. The changes in the 90s are unbelievable.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But then again, the changes from this, again, back to the early days of Lou Fez is mad as well. So here we go. Warrior's really taking control now. Gorilla press, drops him. Oh, okay. So Perfect tried to grab him. Wasn't so perfect. Flair hits him with a perfect chair shot to the back. Macho Man's waking up like he's just had a few too many the night before. Looking for his bacon sandwich. Instead, he finds Warrior, picks him up. No, rolls him over.
I would have rather had the bacon sandwich.
I'd rather have the sandwich as well. He's looking around. He's thinking, what is going on? The confusion in his face. It is like theatre, isn't it? Like, you know, and pantomime. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
This era.
Oh, no, it isn't.
Oh, yes, it is.
So what confuses me? I get the storytelling, right? But a minute ago, they helped him with the brass knuckles. And he was down, and he was like, well, how was he down? Now he got hit with a chair, and now he's thinking, well, how's he down? But he didn't question it earlier with the brass knuckles.
I'm lost. All right, so all he has to do is take advantage, basically, is how they're trying to sell it to us, the commentators. He's looking around. Can he do it? Consciously. Conscience, even, I'm trying to say. Oh, and he turns around and it backfires. It backfires, as in his back feels like it's on fire because he's just had a steel chair. Well, no, he's holding the knee. It looked like he hit his back, but basically Ric Flair swung for the fences, as they say.
So they're on neither side then? They're in neither corner? Is that what we're getting at?
Yeah, I guess so.
What I love is that I actually can't remember what happens. So I'm so shocked.
Oh, there we go. The bell is rung. And they've just gone after Macho Man. I mean, this, honestly, if I was there in person for this match, I'd be a little bit annoyed. Because now what they've gone for is the whole, no one wins, their mates, they're going to beat up the heels in a bit. And it's going to be like that match never mattered. I don't remember or know what happens after this, but if this was a house show and it weren't for the title, like, fun. Do you know what I mean? But I feel like the UK fans are a bit hard done by it. Maybe we shouldn't be clamoring for a big event after all, Rob, because if this if this house show type booking is what we get, I'm a bit scared.
And they can keep it in Wales.
I thought we got away from insurrection and rebellion.
Didn't we have a No Mercy once?
We did, yeah, 99. A lot of people have fond memories of this event, and it's a fun event, don't get me wrong, but I think if you're looking for it at the time when you're a fan, other than the Screaming Kids, which again there's a lot of, cool shot there, Warrior chasing Flair. It's one of those things that we're always, look at the flash of photography, it looks amazing. Things we're stuck with here in the UK and overseas, really, from American shows, is that you do get things that don't progress the story much, you know.
I don't know why, but of an evening and the lights dropping down, it really puts the perspective of how big Wembley was.
Yeah, 100%. Like you said earlier, how far back are they by the stage? I say stage. There weren't much of a stage back then, but yeah, again, as a spectacle, even though I say just then there's no stage, it's fantastic. I get why this is up there in people's things, but in people's hearts, but I guess we can't be too harsh on it. Like a lot of shows would have been like this back then. It's not just
this
UK,
one,
but it feels a bit more like it. Count out, okay. Okay, so wins by DQ. The silly little kids probably think he's won the title. They are going wild. However, still, a bit of a mixed reception there. Some fans, you can see arms in the air, happy about Macho Man still being champ. A few boos though, because no one likes that kind of decision. Warrior's not happy. Oh, he snatched the title. Does he give it to him? I can't remember.
I really don't remember. He's got to, isn't he?
They played this so like one of them's a bad guy. They're just continuing it. Like, no, we're not letting go of that theme. Give it to me, old Wackham, says Heenan. And he picks him up and he awards him the championship. Bless him.
So look, that's the moment that I really like. And then you got Ronda Rousey and Liv Morgan's moment. There was nowhere near that. And Liv really deserved to win the championship, which obviously she didn't.
No, but we spoke in depth about this. Go back and check our Money in the Bank review. Of course, we are time recording this the 7th of July, 2022. So we're not that far away from it. If you're watching a few years' time, ignore this. But if you're watching at the moment, yeah, check our Money in the Bank review because it is still quite relevant, our conversation there. And like I say, a little bit of a similar scene there with Liv and Ronda. But right, Rob, I'm putting you solo for a few seconds. Can you handle that?
Yeah, no worries. I suppose so.
All right, I'll see you in a sec.
Is he gone? Right. Everyone comment the negative things about. Yeah, no, that was I said, as Scott was saying, it was a slow match. But at times it was that it really told that story. So, like for me, I enjoyed it. Oh, it was slow. I didn't really enjoy the outcome, but it is what it is. So we're now on to a promo with Flair and Mr. Perfect. So we're an hour and 52 minutes in, and we're getting a classic Ric Flair promo. So there you have it. If you are watching this along with us, Flair and Mr. Perfect are talking about the plan B, which is obviously Flair wants the title back. How many of you have seen this that are watching along with us? Is it the first time you've watched it? If you are watching along, is this one of your favorites, as we were talking about? Do you have a favorite at SummerSlam? And if so, what year was it? As I said earlier at the beginning of the watch along, mine's 2000. Here comes Kamala.
Yeah, okay, I'm back. I'm back. What I missed, Rob?
So Flair and Mr. Perfect dropped a promo about being a plan B. Flair wants the title back. And I was just saying, getting people to comment like what their favourite SummerSlam was. If it isn't two, which one was it? And then we just got into the start of the match with, the build up to the start of the match with Kamala and Taker.
Okay. So we haven't had Taker's entrance, have we?
Not yet.
Oh, because I want to see that. I'm excited for that. I've seen it a few times, of course, but
have you got a favourite Taker entrance?
Ooh. I feel like I used to have an answer for that, which I think was... I like the return he does in, I think, 94, 95, where he's in the coffin and he's on the screen.
Oh, yeah.
But there's another one similar to that I used to really like as well. Oh, look at that.
Look at that.
So here we go, everyone. We've got Paul Bearer now leading out the hearse.
It's a very small... Is it a small urn or is it the camera?
No.
Oh, it's the camera.
Taker's on the back. I wonder who they got. Tabmans? Don't know if who the director is.
Wouldn't have been co-op at that point, would it?
Could have been.
Whew.
It's a great entrance, isn't it?
It is.
I just love, like, this is the period, again, we're talking about all the young fans, like the fear in some of their eyes and the awe when they see Undertaker is incredible. Looks cool, man.
It does.
This version of the song as well, way more high-pitched organs than the remake that we've got these days.
It kind of fit Paul Bearer's voice, if you know what I mean. Because he was high as well, wasn't it?
Look at the fans dressed as Taker.
Little cosplay.
Yeah. Early cosplay.
I think my favourite all-time Taker entrance, probably, I can't remember what WrestleMania is, but it's the one where...
Sorry, I should have asked you. Sorry, yeah.
And it's the one with all the hands.
Oh, that's one of the later ones.
Which is all the souls.
Yeah.
So that is probably my favourite of all time.
Yeah, that was cool. I have to really think
that
about
is great.
Actually. Even that, maybe we could do a video on that.
You could do a tier list on Taker's entrances, you know.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Or even WrestleMania entrances. We could do them. Leave that to WrestleMania. Of course, a lot of content ideas at the Rebellious Noise Pro Wrestling channel, so definitely stick around. Subscribe if you're new. If you're not new and you've been here before, thank you very much for coming back, and we hope you're a subscriber as well.
As you said, Mullet Mania, that's got to happen.
Mullet Mania might be something we do, yeah. That guy looks confused, doesn't he? There we go. Taker's getting in the ring now.
He looks so much taller there. I don't know why.
You think presentation?
Yeah.
Wise? I think it's because the shirt as well makes him look bigger. I think the way it's cut, it looks like a regular person's shirt, but he's bulging out of it.
Yeah.
So it almost looks like a cloak. Early days of Taker, man, like, can never be done again, this kind of character.
Do you like him in the grey or the purple?
I like both, man. It's like Mortal Kombat when you get different versions. And saying that, they did it, to be fair, in their own game, but the WrestleMania game, and I think like In Your House and Raw.
Yeah.
But if you do Undertaker versus Undertaker, they're just different gloves. But I'd probably say the purple because it just stands out so much.
It's more iconic, isn't it?
Yeah. Would you agree?
Yeah. Was this before he broke his nose? Was it the nose or?
Oh, that was
like
in
that? And then he went with
because he wore the mask.
That was the Phantom mask, wasn't it? I think I prefer him as with the Phantom mask, like that attire.
That mask is cool. It's very reminiscent to Kane. And saying that, there's also clip before he comes into WWE and he's on the house show, I think it is, and they call him Kane the Undertaker. So it's weird that they had that name sticking around for a good 7 years before they gave it to Glenn Jacobs and that character.
I don't think anyone else could have pulled that character off,
What, Kane?
It was done so well.
Yeah. I think Kane is, we'd have a whole kind of deep dive into Kane, but like Kane, the character, the first few years is just unbelievable.
Yeah.
I don't think people underestimate just how over that character was and exciting.
Crazy, wasn't he? It was absolutely crazy. Like I said, the appearance at the Hell in a Cell and
But then again, what we're watching now is the early days of Undertaker. Of course, still got that aura himself. Babyface here as well, which is interesting.
I like Babyface Taker,
Well, even dark version of Babyface.
Yeah, because like he's like an underdog at times because he's that babyface.
The underdog,
but then he's still. It's weird, isn't it? Like he has got an underdog vibe at times, especially going against like the bigger guys. But then he'd have that mysterious aura about him that kind of overpowered him at times.
Always finds a way, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. There was just something about it. The way he was presented was so good.
No, I agree. What's he going to do here? Surely the big old... Oh, no, just stop. I like that as well. Undertaker's like stopped in his tracks straight into the chokeslam. Whew!
Oh,
chokeslam.
That was a lovely
Wasn't the biggest,
as well.
Wasn't the best, but got him up and did it. But sometimes he got to look like that to make him look more realistic, man. Like, chokeslam's a ridiculous move.
Yeah.
This is it. Goes
there
to the
it is.
Clothesline, which is what I thought he was going to do. And the old taunt as well. Bearer, of course, lifting up the urn on the outside. If you just joined us and you're late and you want to sync up with us, we're going to sync up in about 9 minutes, but we're currently on 2 hours, 1 minute and 18 seconds. Okay, so Kimchi has basically just got the DQ, basically. So that's another disappointing end to the match here. Kamala is now going after Taker. Kimchi, was it played by Brooklyn Brawler? Am I right in saying that?
Maybe. I can have a look.
So Kamala's now scoop slamming Taker.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Yeah, Brawler, yeah. Kamala ain't even listening. Going for the splash mid announcement by the Fink. Quite itchy tongue.
Do you know what kind of... I love that we've got this Kamala character, right?
Yeah.
But I feel like Kamala, he done okay. But then when we got Umaga, that was how he wanted it to be portrayed originally the first time with Kamala. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Because it's the same sort of attire, face paint, tattoos on the body, that sort of stuff. It's the same look, the presentation.
Scary, unknown kind of what they're trying to present.
Umaga was fantastic, man.
Yeah, I loved Umaga. It was strange at first, though, suspending your disbelief when you know he was in 3-minute warning.
Rosie and Jamal, wasn't it?
Yeah, like we should have seen something happen to change him, but here we go. Taker sits up. Oh, wow. See, when he sits up and turns his head sideways, of course he got that from Michael Myers, but some of the clips where he does it early on, they look so much cooler. Because I don't know, the face he pulls, the attire, I don't know what it is. Kamala looks terrified, scared as he just he falls over and he's horrified there. Take a slow but quick,
brisk
walk back. Brisk. Is
that Michael Myers walk, isn't it?
It is. Oh, throws his hair back there. Taker was so cool then. She's like a machine, and he's like a zombie. Everything they say the character was, he portrayed so well. Zombie-like, you know.
Heenan then. Oh, The way you put him like that Taker over. Oh, so good.
Yeah. Yeah, Heenan's a great commentator.
Do you think those two together, Vince and Heenan, are the best in the commentary, or have you got a favorite?
I think generation-wise, I've got to say JR and the King for me.
It's got to be, innit?
Heenan and Monsoon, of course, as well, up there. British Bulldog now backstage being interviewed. Fierce and a lot of pressures. Of course, this is a family war at the time. What's that ad behind them? JD McDougal Limited. Let's see what they do. They're set around. There's a Wembley poster behind them as well. Lovely old Twin Towers there. JD McDougal Limited. Oh, it's come up.
Sounds like something from Father Ted.
They're textile merchants, and they're still going.
Oh well, look at you giving them a little shout out.
Go on. Well, it ain't me, mate. It's the WWF. They'd cover that up these days. There's no way they'd get away with that now. Those lockers look fake. This looks like a set.
They do, don't they?
So I'm surprised. That's why I kind of thrown there.
Do you know what it looks like?
Do
you remember the Crystal Maze when you had that random background? That's what it looks like.
Era. Right.
Where in the UK was he from? He's got a very weird accent.
He's near Manchester,
he was in America.
I think.
Lancashire or something like that?
It's where is it? Because they wanted to unveil a plaque for him recently, didn't they?
Let's have a look.
Oh, as in like his daughter's trying to campaign for them to do a plaque in his hometown. It's somewhere like near there.
Goulburn,
Where?
Lancashire. Goulburn, Lancashire.
Is it? Oh, okay.
Goulburn, I don't know.
Goldberg.
No, definitely not him.
Bret's looking cool here with the old school IC title as well.
Do you want me to say something really controversial?
I feel like I know what you're going to say now. Go on.
What would you think I'm going to say?
I think you're going to say you like the new one.
I've never been a fan of Bret.
Oh, okay. Well, we meant the title. Okay. Whoa, okay.
No.
Right. Okay. Well, first of all, IC title. We'll talk about that another time. Bret Hart. You've never been a fan of Bret?
No.
Never. I like Bret. Bret's got an aura about him, and there are things about Bret that I like. But I've always been more of a Shawn Michaels guy. But I appreciate Bret. I mean, look, I've got.
I appreciate Bret.
Right here, of course, but
I appreciate Bret, and I think he's a good worker and what he done.
Yeah.
But I was never a fan. Like Shawn Michaels for me, I was always a Shawn Michaels fan.
Yeah. But it's the type of character that would appeal, though. I think if you watched Bret in this era, you'd be more likely to be a Bret fan.
It's like, to be fair though, other than luchas, if I watch other wrestling, I always love the heel. That's why I love Triple H.
Yeah. I thought he meant his own dungeon then, or the Stu Hart dungeon. He meant no, Dungeon of Windsor Castle.
Has Windsor Castle got a dungeon?
Guess it does now, mate. There we go. Piper. Of course, with did he just say I've always hated hard rock, Heenan?
Yeah.
Piper, of course, with Scottish kind of gimmick because of his Scottish heritage. Other than his music in the kill, he never really played up to that, I don't feel. I don't think it was ever really part of his character, other than his look and his music, was it?
I don't think so.
But this is cool, though. That's not her, yeah.
Do you know what? I've always wanted to learn how to play a bagpipe.
Yeah, it would be fun.
I know you have to, because you have to blow air into the bag, don't you? Then you have to blow it again and squeeze the bag at the same time.
It's like a constant thing, yeah. Fans going mad for Roddy. Canadian flag there, of course, because Piper is Canadian as well.
I'm not sure if I like the pink.
Doesn't suit, does it?
No, I prefer black.
Stands out too much. I wonder if he can really play him. He looks like he's faking it there to me. But saying that, I had a WCW figure of Piper and it came with bagpipes.
Did it?
Yeah.
What's with a little two-step?
It's just literally like, I'm going to come play my theme song. It's like when John Cena debuted his album on Raw.
I had that album, you know.
I bet you bloody did.
I did.
Well, who was it with? The trademark,
Bumpy Knuckles.
Was it?
Yeah, the trademark and bump. Was it Bumpy Knuckles?
Bumpy Knuckles. I don't remember that name.
I'm sure it was the trademark and Bumpy Knuckles. Have a look. Hang on.
Well, there we go. Performance over. Piper's had his day. Go on, what was you going to say? Bumpy Knuckles, was it?
It was, yeah. John Cena done the Bad Bad Man song, and that's who was in it.
Bad Man. She got me thinking of Rikishi's heel song. Here we go. Is that Martha Hart? Not Martha Hart. Bulldog's wife.
There you go.
Diana Smith. That was it. Diana. Of course, it's Diana. Another British link. No wonder Davey fell for her.
Oh, she double-barreled.
Yeah. She's selling it well, man. I think it's because she's chatting so calmly, whereas all the wrestlers on the promos that we've seen are screaming. And you can't buy that. Whereas she's being like, I'm not a wrestler, so I'm just going to talk. They're really selling this match. I honestly thought, though, saying that they'd sell it more throughout the show. But the main show match they were selling the whole way through, of course, was the whole thing about Perfect. Now, of course, it is the main title at the time, but okay. So if you just joined us, we're on 2 hours, 11 minutes and 59 seconds. If you want to sync up with us, if you're live, we will do a sync-in opportunity at 2 hours 15. So in about 3 minutes time. But what we're watching at the moment, of course, is SummerSlam 1992. Coming up very, very soon. We haven't got a date for it yet, but we will be doing SummerSlam 2002 as well. So definitely subscribe if you're new here so that you can get notifications about that. Of course, hit the bell icon and all that good stuff as well. We have a lot more content on this channel. We've interviewed WWE superstars over the years as well, including really in-depth, exciting, interesting interviews with Kevin Owens. Of course, we've had a great conversation. Bobby Lashley, a real fun one with Riddle as well. We can go on and on. We've had some great opportunities here to interview WWE talent on this channel. So definitely check out some of those as well. And if you're into the fun stuff about wrestling, check out me trying on Seth Rollins suits, because that was a bit of a laugh as well.
That was a great. That was a shocking moment when you done it on air.
Shocking moment. Oh, when I came in on the stream.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. Oh, here we go. The pop for Bulldog, mate. How did you feel growing up being British and having Bulldog as our representative again? It's a bit later in his career for us. You know, actually, Bulldog's a bit different. We had the version of him and Owen. Then we had Gene's Bulldog.
I remember him more as Gene's Bulldog, which was annoying.
So I knew of him back then. I won't watch it. Is that Lennox Lewis? It is. I don't think I ever realised that Lennox Lewis walks him out.
Yeah, no,
cool.
So obviously, I love the fact that we had British Bulldog and representing us on that. But again, as you said, it was because this is early on, and when we got him, it was such a later version. So I remember Bulldog in jeans and all that sort of stuff. But him looking like this is like peak Bulldog. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is prime Bulldog, and
which again I mentioned it earlier on. They say Bret tells many stories about Davey not really being with it in this match, but he looks with it here, and they have an incredible match which we're about to witness, of course. But so it's impressive that they managed to get through that. But career-wise, peak. Like you say, this is top. This is about to be his biggest moment of his career, without a doubt. What we're about to watch. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen it already, but it is 30 years old. Lennox Lewis with him as well. Really cool. I don't think they don't milk that enough.
No.
Lewis was a big star, like especially in the years after this. Yeah, it's strange because the next thing we cling on to really is Regal, completely different character. I guess obviously a heel for most of his time.
Wade Barrett.
Yeah, we get Barrett, and of course, just from being this side of the world, we also have always latched on to Sheamus from working over here in the Indies as well. McIntyre with a chosen one. Then we got Paige, and then the past few years, we've said it before, but we've been very well represented from the UK. So it used to be very few and far between, but this is back in the days, where it's just one real kind of representation for us over here. Of course, we had his tag partner, the Dynamite Kid, as well in years previous. But at this stage, this is definitely, probably still arguably the biggest name we've had from this, this side of the world, really.
Yeah, 100%.
Star power wise, I mean, Regal's there for a long time and a fantastic performer, won some, championships and stuff like that. But I mean, neither of them won the world title, but Bulldog was
just a shame,
positioned as one of the biggest things in the company for a while. So, but yeah, definitely a shame. Never quite pulled the trigger. But then you look at other stars from this era as well that never had the world title: DiBiase, Razor Ramon. So it wasn't uncommon.
I think that's why I always prefer the IC to a lot of other championships, because they managed to do that. They never made that top tier, but that mid tier or mid to high tier was perfect spot for them.
Yeah, they could perfect it. Yeah, I think for me, Jericho's IC kind of relationship with the IC title as well was always something I really enjoyed.
Definitely, even the mids.
Yeah. Okay, so Bret's gone to the outside, going to assume his sister. Or is it a kid? No, kid to give the glasses. Wonder if that kid's still got the glasses. Because there's going to be a lot of kids here that grew out of wrestling and don't really care about it anymore, But some of them are going to hold this really dear to him.
If my son ever got glasses from a wrestler, they go on the show. I was like, listen.
Yeah, but the Bret glasses. I know you said earlier you're not the biggest Bret fans, but Bret's glasses specifically. My goodness, imagine that.
Be up there.
There you go. So stare down, pretty much similar height. Bulldog's a bit bigger.
So he's a bit thicker, isn't he?
Bit thicker, yeah. But Bret's got the technical side. Bulldog's got the power. Fans are really behind this already. See, I like that. Heenan saying it's about winning the belt and getting all that money. Straight up telling us what wrestling's supposed to be about,
Obviously, I know they're at Wembley. What a spot.
Yeah.
I know they're at Wembley, but who do you think the crowd's more behind here? Is it Bulldog or is it Bret?
I think naturally it's Bulldog. I think, Bret's the babyface, but I think as time goes on, it's going to go more towards the Bulldog, surely. From what I remember, obviously, I remember the final scenes, but I think you can't help but again, like I said, over the years when we had like British wrestlers coming over here, even if they weren't from London or if they even strictly weren't from the UK, and we had like Sheamus, as I mentioned, British fans, London fans, wherever you were in the UK, would really go for them, you know, even if they were heels. It's just the way it is.
Yeah, I mean, you said you're completely right, because I remember I went to it was either Raw or SmackDown, and Adam Rose. Do you remember him?
Adam Rose, yeah.
And he was from New Zealand, wasn't he?
South
he wasn't
Africa.
English. South Africa,
yeah.
Right? So he wasn't even, and
he
had
that kind
like
of
English gimmick. Yeah,
yeah, it's a similar vibe, yeah, because he was playing it. Yeah, his character was kind of meant to be like a hippie
English party guy,
northern,
hippie. Yeah. There you go, a small package that you love.
Represent. Okay, Bret's taking him down there. Headlock takeover. Now, if you hear stories back from Bret, this is where Bret's basically saying, all right, this is what we're going to do.
Do you think, though? Do you think that was the case?
I think Bret maybe hypes it up a bit, but you can only imagine how disappointed he was if it was the case. But I always thought Bulldog was quite with it in this.
See, that's the only thing that I guess it does frustrate me and wind me up, was when you can only hear one side of a wrestler's story, and there isn't.
Hard, isn't it?
Do you know what I mean? Because it does make you think, oh, well, so he led the whole match. But okay, maybe he did. But the fact that he was able to lead the match, but if Bulldog was battered, you know, or whatever was going on, he still put on a show.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So like,
yeah, they both did well either way, you know, like
yeah.
however, you know, however extreme it really was. But I mean, look at this, Bulldog there doing some roll throughs and stuff like that. I mean, that is incredible.
Yeah,
that is some luchador type indie modern wrestling stuff, you know, and that comes from his background, you know, like the kind of, you know, being in Calgary, being in the UK, growing up in the old British style, you know, like this is closer. We talked earlier about, you know, how this is only 30, 40 years removed from Lou Thesz and people like that. But the connecting thread here would be Bret Hart, British Bulldog, when they can put these kind of matches on, you know, the IC title, if you will, that kind of division would have been linked to that. So it's interesting to see this kind of match on the same card. And we still get today, you know, we got hardcore matches, we get indie-rific matches, you know, we get slow, methodical Randy Orton matches. But I think it stands out more here because you've got the cartoonish, slow, sluggish main event of Warrior and Savage, and then you've got this technical kind of masterpiece.
And what I like is it's technical, but there's then moments of like big spots, if you know what I mean. Then it drops back into chain wrestling, then it'll go back to technical again, and there's so much in it.
This is the kind of wrestling I like, where it slows that. It's a perfect balance because it slows, but not in a sense of a normal headlock just waiting, or kind of like someone selling for ages. Like say, big burst of energy there. Look, crucifix pin. But previous to that, they're trying to get out of each other's holds. They are showing each other. Like it just feels a lot more legit.
It does. Like if you can do it, I can do it.
Yeah, and there are stakes to like an armbar rather than kind of whining that you're in an armbar. Do you know what I mean? They were like, I need to get out of this. And I love when you see stuff like, you know, the wrestlers will like, they'll tap their shoulder and they'll pull a finger and then they'll pull around in pain. Then they'll go back and they'll try and get the elbow. And like, that is to me how wrestling should be. Like, not this kind of, I'm laying there, my arm hurts. And I've only been wrestling 30 seconds. You know what I mean? Like,
love that he done that and he's still in the armbar. That was lovely.
Yeah. And here, like saying that, you know, this is different to what I said. He's laying there still. But you know, like they portray it like, I'm thinking now. How do I get out of this hold? And we still get that today with certain wrestlers. But you see it, and then they try something, doesn't work. Let me try a different way, doesn't work.
Yeah.
Which is what Bret's doing here. He's starting to roll through now. Davy's still holding on there. Bret's going at the face. There we go. Gets out by a whip.
Oh,
knee. Hear the boos. Yeah, the boos. They're definitely Bulldog fans now. Bret's playing up to it. He really playing out to it now. Kick to the chest.
Do you think it was one of those things where
Lovely,
I think
man.
Rock spoke about it when he went against Hogan, and they said they didn't have an idea of who was going to be the heel or face. They're going to let the fans decide.
Yeah.
Do you think it was something similar in this match?
I think so. I think Bret played. Yeah, I think Bret probably just played up to whatever he felt was natural. He probably knew part of him that Bulldog was going to get.
Yeah.
You know, like he, because Bret always bangs on about the same thing with Canada. You know, when he was a heel and he went back to Canada, he was still a babyface. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
So Bret knows. It's like same as John Cena at One Night Stand against RVD.
Yeah.
You know,
dude, the heat he got on that. Whew.
Okay, so we're about to be at 2 minutes 25 in about 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're 2:25 now. Of course, this event is 2 hours 46 and 29 seconds, so we're not long now. We've got about 21 minutes to go.
Oh, I love that.
Bit of a Samoan drop sort of thing now, wasn't it? Just from a crucifix.
It was like he went for the crucifix again, yeah.
Thank you, Mariusic. There we go. Hi back, Mariusic. Thanks for joining us. Again, everyone on live, everyone on demand, really do appreciate it. If you're new here, subscribe, all that good stuff. Check us out on Twitter at RN Pro Wrestling and REBNOISE Reb Noise for all your Rebellious Noise content in general. Of course, we're here on the Rebellious Noise Pro Wrestling channel today doing the watch along of SummerSlam 1992. And again, really appreciate everyone that's joined us so far. Okay, Bret thrown off, comes back himself. Leapfrog by the Bulldog.
Hey!
Monkey flip.
That was lovely, man.
Very nice. Fans really behind that as well. See, this is just such a different match to the rest of the card.
It really is. Do you think this is one of them matches that if it happened now, would still hold up?
Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah. And again, things change and our kind of perception of things. And, you know, earlier when I was saying certain matches are too slow, it isn't because I'm conditioned massively and into the indie style kind of over the top high spot stuff. It's got its place, but I'm somewhere in the middle. Like I watched, for example, I remember when I watched Psycho for the first time. And I was like, well, I appreciate it for where it was in 1960. Like I could suspend my disbelief and allow the bits that are supposed to be scary to kind of freak me out. You know what I mean? Yeah. Some people watch it and go, nah, I'm not like that. So Bulldog throws Bret off the top rope there, climbs himself.
Speaking of watching things for the first time, I got my wife to watch Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original.
I've never seen that.
First time. Have you not?
I've never seen that. Nah, maybe we should do a pod on that.
Man.
But
100%.
Yeah. So what I mean is that go on.
Do a watch along on that, like for Halloween.
Yeah, maybe we should actually. I was scared the crap out of me. Yeah, what I mean is that like I'm not in this massively as like 21st century wrestling fan that I can't appreciate this older style. Again, I appreciate Lou Thesz and stuff like that, you know, early British wrestling as well. But there's a difference between what we were seeing earlier on. It was definitely parts of it was slow in a sense that didn't need to be. I mean, we joked earlier about what was it, a scoop slam or something? One match?
Yeah.
Yeah, like pile drivers used to be devastating. DDT used to be a finisher. You know, things move. And I can appreciate the kind of thread between that. But at the same time, this match, like you said earlier, is something that could be put on a current card. And it's night and day compared to what we've seen on the rest of this card.
It's crazy. This feels more like the match for the WWE Championship than it does the IC Championship.
Yeah, exactly. And maybe that's it, though. Maybe like those guys held back a bit because they knew this was meant to be this is the main event.
Possibly.
You know what I mean? But
oh,
that was a dodgy looking. Bret looks a bit annoyed there, so I can figure out. And Davey looks a bit out of it. I feel like that could have been a moment where Bret's example, an example of what Bret was saying actually about Davey maybe weren't with it, but he hit him very awkwardly and snapped his neck back. Jumping out of the ring there.
Oh, I like that. The little air horn to the finish off with Bulldog. That was great. Different audience as well, if you know what I mean. Like the interactions, like the crowd chants and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of air horns, but even in the late 90s, we had a lot of them.
I mean, just in compared to now, I mean, we've been to wrestling shows and
yeah, the chants, there's no chance.
Mental, isn't it?
There's no chance. Like this is loud though. There's a lot of cheering. This sounds like I'm watching a game show.
Yeah,
but
a
just
90s TV
people.
game show.
Yeah, 90s TV game show on like in the morning, Saturday morning for kids. But there's 80,000 of them. Live and kicking, yeah, SMTV, something like
that. Yeah. Oh man, that's a blast from the past, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay, so vicious looking forearm there from Bret. Another one. Solid looking work from Bret here, man.
Do you think this is the point where Smith's out of it then?
I don't know. I mean, he's selling as if he is. Lovely drop kick there as well.
Maybe. Oh!
Lovely backdrop there.
That was. They just say Razor Ruddock.
Sorry?
They just said Razor Ruddock, didn't they?
Yeah, no, but not the footballer.
I was going to say, I was like, what? Talking about Neil Razor Ruddock.
Yeah, no, so there's another box. I think that's where Neil Ruddock got his name from.
It's got to be. I was like, there's no chance.
Yeah.
Although, if you ever want some entertainment, watching Neil Ruddock is is pretty good.
Getting ready for the suplex. Lovely suplex there from Bret.
He always done a fantastic suplex, you know.
He did do a good suplex. Slow down now. But still, again, like you said earlier, explosive moves every now and then to kind of keep it fresh. It's a very well-paced match at the moment. There we go, straight away.
That was a lovely double underhook into a backslide.
It was indeed. Love the little shots in the corner of Bulldog's wife as well. Of course, Bret's sister reacting. We're in 2 hours, 32 and 10 seconds, everyone. If, again, you've fallen out of sync or you're just joining us, we'll sync back up at 2 hours and 35. I'll give us a 10-second countdown. Those foam hands are strange, like the colour. They look like the Statue of Liberty.
I think they should bring foam hands back, you know.
Man, a lot of wrestling events used to do them. I think even like when World of Sport came back, they had foam hands. But I remember going to stuff at York Hall and stuff, and foam hands are everywhere.
When I took my son to his first UK family independent wrestling show.
Yeah.
He got a foam hand. He loves it.
Yes, it's still a thing, man. Where was that? What did you go see?
So we've seen WrestleForce.
Okay, yeah.
A few times. Hopefully next time I think we're planning to go Dropkicks. Which
cool, yeah.
For those of you who are watching, Dan and Lucas, who are normally with us on the stream, couldn't be with us today because they're a part of Dropkicks. So yeah, but hopefully I'm going to go and see that. So we'll get to see Dan and Lucas
as well. Yeah, that'd be good, man.
So
you see Bret talking to him here as well.
Yeah.
See, when you watch this part of the match, you could say, "Oh yeah, Bret's story." You could see it, but a lot of it looks like he's selling. So, that was lovely. A massive swing there. That was perfectly timed for Bret to duck and put him back into the sleeper. Bulldog doing well to portray kind of your damsel in distress type, kind of I can't make it through type thing, you know. We're 2 hours and 34 now. I'll count us down again when we get 10 seconds away from 2 hours and 35 for those that want to rejoin us if they need to. Bulldog crawling now with Bret on his back. Gets to the rope. Bret just falls on top of him now. Won't let him go. Surely we count to 5 here. Counted a bit weird there. He counted. That was... He stopped and he started again, didn't he?
I don't know. Was he counting to 10?
It was a fast count at the end as well. It's like he counted, stopped, and started again. Either way, Bret's got him up now, going for the Irish whip into the rope, back into the sleeper again. I love that kind of quick turn. It was the same as the Undertaker earlier, where he ran. It looked like he was going to do the massive clothesline, but instead he did the stop chokeslam. You know, like those sharp movements off the rope, as if the momentum is really there, or you're fighting. That takeaway.
I love that they keep putting like her on like Diana on the screen to get a reaction. It's great.
Now they do something pan to her, weren't they? They'd pan to her and they'd come back, but
didn't they do something similar when it was Bret versus Owen, and then they had a mum and
the mum and dad, yeah. All right, I missed 2:35, everyone. If you are trying to sync back up with us, so we'll bring you back in at 2:36. It's 2:35:31 at the moment. Bulldog is trying to find his way out of this sleeper hold, and he picks him up.
Oh,
gonna ram him into the turnbuckle. Surely, there we go. But Bret's come back at him. We're 15 seconds away now from 2:36. Okay, ready? Counting you back in. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're at 2:36. Bret's now in the corner. Turns back. Bulldog turns back right into a punch from Bret getting off the ground. Oh, that's a risky one there. But Bret perfectly tries to even make himself tie up on the ropes to get something out of it there. So Bulldog goes for a press slam. Bit too much momentum, it seems. Bulldog's now getting a bit of momentum going in with the clotheslines.
Absolutely love a heel commentator. They're so great.
Yeah. Press slam there from Bulldog.
So do you think that was the spot there where they were supposed to go for? That massive slam.
The slam there, perhaps, but it was very fast though. It seemed like it was gonna go wrong.
Yeah.
Okay, now Bret's got him. No, Bulldog's got him. Sorry,
Bulldog's got him.
Suplex. Yep. Holding up high.
Beautiful.
Look at all the flashes there.
I love that.
Still holding on. Gonna roll over for the pin. One.
Germany thought he was gonna hook the hips then.
Yeah. Bret kicks out. Okay, so we've got about 9 minutes left of this event, guys. We're on 2 hours, 37 minutes, and 50 seconds as we speak. Bret did that. Bret used to do the spot really well, bouncing off the turnbuckle. He must have hurt his chest a lot over the years doing that. So it's weird when someone has a signature spot where they are selling. Like Mankind had certain ones like that where he'd bounce over the ring
over the rope
outside.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So it's like it's almost hard to suspend your disbelief when they do that.
Didn't Shawn used to do one when he'd flip upside down? Yeah.
Flair always missing the top rope spot. Kind of similar. Here we go. Yeah. Bulldog's going for the power slam. Flashes everywhere too, and a kick out. That was almost too quick. That, don't you think?
Well, the count.
the count and also going for the pin, because Davey was just like out of it for ages. Suddenly he's got enough energy to quickly go for a pin. They could have like
Second wind,
out a little bit longer. Sorry,
second wind.
Yeah, but I think
no, you're right though. They could have portrayed it a bit more. Like is that build up
to get that massive. It was only a 2, because him kicking out that quick felt like someone belittling a finisher rather than somehow kicking out a finisher. Oh, what a beautiful sequence there! Lovely bridged German suplex there for the pin.
I love it when, do you know what? It's the little things that you get to see in wrestling. As we were talking earlier, only wrestling fans will say it is like specific boots or specific styles or things they do. But when you see a bridge that looks that clean, you just think, oh, it's so nice. It's like a chef's kiss moment, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
It really is.
So Bulldog's now just throwing Bret on top of the top rope. On his crown jewels. There we go. Even I'm getting the British punch in now. Goes for the superplex. Oh, that was a bit sloppy though, wasn't it? Like Bret hadn't stretched as far out. It was kind of, they were a bit too close up, weren't they? That could have been wrong now.
It's very weird watching someone do a superplex now and not have them roll through, because you're used to seeing Seth roll through with momentum into something else. Do you know what I mean? It's very weird.
They do look more choreographed and stretched. That's what I'm thinking about. Not that look was terrible, but probably more realistic what they just did, to be fair. But
it's different. The athleticism is so different. I mean, you can compare that to watching the World Cup in '66 and England in the Euro finals this year. Such a different. Do you know what I mean? It's completely different.
Yeah. Last year, mate, not this year.
Oh, so was it last year?
Yeah, it was last year. It was a year like a few days ago.
Yeah. Do you know what I'm thinking? It was this year because the women are playing still, aren't they?
Yeah, the women, yeah. Hopefully going to get to the final. Okay.
Love the way you got into that sharpshooter as well. That was nice.
Yeah, that was lovely, wasn't it? Standing up. Here we go. He's got it locked in properly.
Love that.
Vince really hyping up that this is it. So is Heenan, even encouraging Bulldog to take the easy way out, as he says. Bulldog going for the rope.
His hand's underneath, isn't he?
Yeah. You don't really see that counted, though, anymore. Like people's being under the rope.
Imagine being related to both of them. Obviously, one by marriage, one as a sister.
Yeah.
Who do you cheer for? Like, obviously, I know story wise. Like, I mean, even in this situation.
Here we go. This is it. That's it. That was it. It's such a shock finish. I mean, we'll go back to your point in a minute, but that's such a shock finish. I mean, on a show that had some weird finishes, and we've kind of put them down a bit. And she looks like she's crying there. We'll go back to that in a moment. But that is a strange one, but it stands out. Like, I think the explosion of the pin just as it finishes and the fans going wild. It's a great visual. It's not your traditional way you'd end a match. And again, there was a lot of kind of things, even on this show that we kind of put down a bit. But I think the stakes were so high on it. As a moment, it's great. I think on the rest of the show, it's I don't know, probably gets a little bit lost because of the other finishes that were quite similar in the sense that they were quick out of nowhere, things you wouldn't expect, moves that don't usually end matches. But as a moment in history, it stands out. But yeah, you talked about. Go on, sorry.
I was going to say, like, the thing is though, if it had ended with a finisher, it would have been like he couldn't kick out of it. So I think the fact that it was a quick roll up into a pin.
Yeah, because the idea is like they've met their match and they can't. Yeah.
So I think it makes sense, but as you said, I think the finishes on the rest of the show downplay that a little. But I love it. It's such a great finish. Like for me, you know. But yeah, as I was saying, like, before that,
better of him. About who would you side for, basically? Yeah, in a real fight, like depends. I don't know, it's such a strange one, isn't it? Which is why it's a good story, you know. Okay, so Bret now acting like he's not going to shake his hand. Of course, there's boos. This is a big moment for Bulldog, man.
It is.
And for the family, to do it within the family as well. Diana playing it up really well. She just wants them to get on and agree now. The match is over. No one's got seriously hurt. Shaking a big pop there as well. I mean, it's a nice way to send them home happy, isn't it? You know, like Bulldog as the champion in the UK. Of course, we talk about these shows like Rebellion and Insurrection. I can't remember which one it is, but he wins the hardcore title years later when he is Gene's Bulldog, and they change it back on Raw. So they do the same sort of thing again. It doesn't have the same kind of it's not something that they market for years and years like they do with this, but great match though. And definitely the best part of the show.
I love that.
See, Vince, it could be the greatest SummerSlam of all time. Like
that moment there.
It, but yeah, fantastic. This is great. Yeah. Diana between the husband and brother. Nice moment for a minute. You imagine that picture's framed in one of their homes or something. You know what I mean? Like,
that moment as well when all three of them are hugging.
Yeah,
fantastic.
It's a nice little moment. It's a great a great end to the show for the British fans. Great end to the show for wrestling fans in general. It was a nice feel good moment. Baby faces and family and all that good stuff. But there we go. We mentioned no fireworks earlier. We got little sparklers going off behind them now. I thought the Union Jack was on fire then up the top there.
Yeah.
Looks great though, doesn't it?
It does.
It's a little thing up there with the hands clapping. A little screen. It's a little preset. Yeah, it's like a little.
Oh yeah, I see it. Yeah.
Cheerio, everybody.
Cheerio, everybody. What is that?
There we go.
92, man.
And that is that. That is a 1992 SummerSlam. We'll wrap things up with a few comments and stuff like that. I did say earlier on, Rob, when you were gone, that I was, interested in seeing the surrounding cards. So let's have a quick look at that. I'm going to do 1991 first. Obviously, there were times where WWF's kind of popularity and strength for the roster went up and down, up and down. Just looking at that. So we've got the Ricky Steamboat, the Bulldog, and Texas Tornado versus Warlord, Power and Glory. Bret versus Mr. Perfect. Natural Disasters versus Bushwhackers. Virgil versus Ted DiBiase. Bossman versus the Mountie. LOD versus Nasty Boys. IRS versus Greg Valentine. Hogan versus Warrior. No, sorry, Hogan and Warrior defeated Slaughter, and then General Adnan and Colonel Mustafa. That does feel like a bigger show. Some similar kind of names there. And let's go 1993 as well. Just want to see basically what 92 feels like in between them. 93 looks like the roster's a bit different, to be fair. On the main card, we've got Razor, so of course, new character anyway, beating DiBiase. So we look at that now back and going, man, Razor, but he's a new character. The Steiners versus the Heavenly Bodies. Michaels with Diesel versus Mr. Perfect. IRS versus
weird,
the 1-2-3 Kid. Bret versus Doink with Jerry Lawler. Jerry Lawler versus Bret. Ludwig Borger versus Jannetty. Undertaker versus Giant Gonzalez. Smoking Guns and Tanaka beat Bam Bam Bigelow and the Head Shrinkers. Luger defeats Yokozuna. So the thing is, when we compare this card, a lot of those people aren't in the WWF in 92. So although this one feels more of a stacked card, maybe it's just the way. I'm trying to think who wasn't on the card. Noticeable differences, absences. Sorry. So maybe it's just the fact that the roster wasn't as strong in 92 as we think it was.
Possibly. I mean, look, I've got the 93 one up now, but from what we've just watched, you're right. It does seem like the names there are the ones that are now going to. But then are we saying that the names there are because we've got a bigger fonder memory with them?
Yeah, and who they become, a lot of them are stars in the future, and a lot of these guys we just saw just happened to never quite do it,
Yeah, I reckon it could be. The start you got Steiner Brothers. Shawn Michaels, we know Diesel, Mr. Perfect, 1, 2, 3 Kid obviously becomes X-Pac. Bret, Doink, okay, fair enough. Taker and Giant Gonzalez. Was that the one when Paul Bearer come back to help Undertaker? Was it that one?
Well, it said it was with Taker, so I guess he was already with him.
Oh, okay.
So
Billy Gunn. Do you know what I mean? So like they're Yokozuna. So there is names there that they were stars, but over time they become bigger stars. I guess.
Yeah.
So I think we have to look at it as from that perspective. I think, or maybe we're looking at it as because they're big. To us, they were big stars.
Like they become bigger.
Yeah. So maybe that's why. But I enjoyed it. It's very weird going back and watching like old stuff. Like I said this on the podcast that I do. That when we talk about stuff we do a thing called what do we call it? Vintage collection. And when we talk about vintage, we go back to like 90s onwards. So anything from 2000 back is vintage. So obviously, which we've watched something from 92, but it's crazy to think that we could watch Royal Rumble from 2000 and think, that was so long ago. But it's still looking at that to what we've just watched, it was so different.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Like I was saying earlier, like the gap between the 10 years is like 2000 feels very different today. Don't give it to today, but it is still a lot closer to today than that is the 10 years.
It really is.
Yeah, 90, like we'll say, we'll really see the difference again when we do the next one, when we do the 2002 one. The difference between 92 and 2002 is going to be really interesting to see. So definitely subscribe, check it out, because we don't have a date in mind just yet. We're just trying to finalize a few things to make sure we can, as many of us can be on it as possible. But yeah,
that's going to be a great one, man.
As well. But yeah, 2002 is going to be good. But yeah, even looking at that, I just remember that era just by looking at that poster and think, like you say, it's completely different. Yeah. But again, like you mentioned there, like it's still an enjoyable show. I think to be at the show would have been very fun as a fun one-off. I would have felt somewhat cheated in the sense that some of the things.
Do you think it was because of the finishes?
Matter. Yeah, some of the finishes, and some of the what felt like the card, but maybe not so in hindsight. Maybe it's not as maybe the roster was weak. It's the first SummerSlam not to feature Hogan. I think he leaves not long after this as well. So, one of his little absences and stuff like that. So maybe it was a contractual thing. I'm never quite sure why he wasn't at SummerSlam 92. But he's a noticeable kind of absentee. Yeah. So, but again, it doesn't mean it weren't a fun show. Even the ones that I said were like Holiday Park-esque. Like I enjoy those shows. They're fun. I like that part of wrestling too. Like, so, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just, I feel like the stakes and what it meant for kind of storyline progression, I would have felt a bit cheated. Yeah, actually, in hindsight, feels a lot more like an insurrection or a rebellion than I remembered, except for that last match.
That last match is great, man.
Yeah, which feels like it matters. Yeah, because it still does. It still gets talked about in that way. And when you compare that to, again, on one of those shows, Bulldog did have a similar kind of moment. Not as crazy. It was just, simply kind of winning the hardcore title, which, let's be honest, as fun as it was, it's not as prestigious. Yeah. And it wasn't exactly a long match either. Yeah, you compare the two moments, and this one is the one that everybody talks about. So this one definitely kind of holds it up there. But I think this kind of, the show benefits from the iconic moments. Like the Legion of Doom's entrance, Undertaker's entrance, Michael's entrance, a lot of the entrances that get replayed, and that final match. The drama between the world title match was interesting, even if it was slow at times.
It was chaotic.
And I would say I really enjoyed the tag title match.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed that match. I thought that was really fun as well. So, and even the Michaels match anyway. Not against Rick Martel. I think that was a really enjoyable match actually.
It definitely felt like that was the match like Michaels and Martel with the stuff with Sherri, it seemed like the match of that at that moment wasn't important because it was based around Sherri, so it was the build up to a bigger finish. You know, so like some matches you can get away with like, oh, whatever, like it was it was there for a reason to be thrown away. You know, we still get them now, but yeah, it was very weird. I think because the card had so many, like what, 2 DQs? Was it 2 DQs? 2 quick finishes, something like that. You know, 2 or 3 quick finishes,
something like that,
and stuff. It did just feel like the moment at the end was kind of out. It was underplayed because of we've already had that stuff happen. You know, but other than that, man, like the finish itself for that, like, you know, Bret versus Bulldog was great. Like I love the finish. I love the fact there wasn't a finishing move to end both either. You know, it was, I don't know. I just think that's one of the matches that if you want to go into wrestling and you want to learn old school kind of stuff like FTR kind of when they talk about having Bret and stuff like that, that's the sort of matches that you fall in love with and you can just absolutely watch over and over again. It's like that is study match material if you want to be a wrestler.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, the rest of the show you could argue is the same as well as far as a spectacle because it was and it's lived on in the memory of. And the main event definitely helps that, but it's kind of iconic in many ways. So I mean, it's been really fun, mate. Obviously, we're in the SummerSlam season.
We are.
Hence the summer attire and trying to keep cool with a nice Guinness. It's exciting. Of course, you know, if you're watching this years from now, this doesn't matter. But we're about to, of course, get into our SummerSlam content in general for this year's 2022, of course, SummerSlam. We'll be doing our predictions and previews, always our build-up show and our recap and review. But not only that, we're still in SummerSlam season, and it might be a bit earlier than usual, but we are going full force anyway. And again, we'll be doing our 2002 watch along very, very soon. So definitely subscribe for that. It's gonna be a fun one as well because I've really enjoyed today, Rob. Man, I thought this was really fun.
It's been fun, isn't it?
Chilling back and watching a show and kind of having a laugh about it, really.
It really is. It's sometimes when we get to do the predictions or a review after, we're so on. We've got to hit this note. We need to make sure we're doing this. This has to be spoken about. When we've done that,
don't forget.
When we done our first podcast just about wrestling in general a couple of weeks ago, which obviously we haven't got a date for another one, but we're going to try and make them more regular.
Cool.
And we were talking, it was like we need to take notes, we need to kind of figure things out. Things like these watch-alongs are so easy to do because we can just waffle. People
say
can
what
listen.
You see, it's
and
so fun conversations in between, like mullet manias, hopefully coming out of this as well. But but yeah, like you say, it's a nice kind of, it's a chilled thing. Obviously, it's a lot more laid back and a bit like our build-up shows, really, where we just kind of just go all over the place. Of course, we hit certain points on that. If you haven't seen our build-up shows before, on the night of a PLE, just before it, we'll kind of hype ourselves, and you up, hopefully, for what's about to happen that night on a PLE. But similar to that in the sense that it's quite laid back and fun. So yeah, I've really enjoyed it. Glad you've enjoyed it, Rob. Hopefully those watching have enjoyed it as well. And if you have, please subscribe. We've got plenty more on its way. Of course, the 2002 one coming soon. All of this year's SummerSlam content as well. And as we mentioned earlier on, all the great interviews we've had with superstars over the years as well. And of course, on our main Rebellious Noise channel, there's a lot more going on there and previous in our archive over there for wrestling content as well. Anyway, I've been Scott. This one's been over. He's been Rob. Anything else you want to say before we leave, mate?
No, man, I'm good. I want to try and look online for some old school 90s fashion.
You've been inspired.
I have. I want to get a shell suit, a shell suit even.
A shell suit and a mullet, please. All right, cool. That's been it, guys. Thank you very much, and we hope to see you on the next one. Cheers.
Welcome to the Rebellious Noise Pro Wrestling channel. On this channel, we bring you some great content from inside and outside of the squared circle. We will go through and offer some in-depth analysis of the biggest events of the year, as well as bringing you exclusive interviews with some of the industry's biggest names. There will also be live show reviews, in-depth features, and podcasts. So make sure you give that subscribe button a slam so you don't miss any of the action.